crashing down for Wales so suddenly. In his first tenure in charge, Warren Gatland built a dynasty, taking young guns and turning them into giants, not just for Wales, but for the Lions as well. 4 Six Nations titles, 3 of them Grand Slams, and in 2019, a world #1 ranking. But then, a record drop-off, golden generation all but gone, a first wooden spoon for 21 years and 14 losses on the bounce. Why? Perhaps the main reason was poor spending. During Gatland's first tenure, the WRU committed its funds to world-leading training facilities for the national side, but underinvested in the club scene. Despite Ireland raking in similar overall revenues, its union would be committing up to £30 million a year more than Wales to their provincial clubs. In 2023, a report found the WRU had flitted away an £84 million TV deal on the purchase of a Cardiff hotel and a zip wire above the Principality. At the same time, the regional budgets and salary caps were being slashed, and they're still being cut. Add this to a distinct lack of player pathways when compared to the private school-fueled setups in Ireland, Scotland and England, the continuous rise of football's popularity and generational talents going elsewhere. It all meant when Abby Tierney became CEO, having never worked in sport before, she had a mountain to climb. And yet the beauty of sport, of course, is it isn't played in the boardroom, and sometimes it takes surprisingly little for the narrative to shift almost overnight. When Gatland left for the second time, interim coach Matt Sherratt only had 3 training sessions before Wales' next game, but the team looked unrecognisable, and all he did was pick players in the right positions and provide a bit of attacking structure. Suddenly, Wales were back pushing Ireland to the wire. As Gatland's first tenure taught us, for Wales' success to be sustainable, once the books are balanced, the regions need more money, salary caps need boosting, player pathways need investment. But it doesn't have to mean Wales lose every game in the meantime.
Good afternoon, this is Drive with me, Natalie, Sawyer and Gabby Agbonlahor. Coming up today, Newcastle are back in for Mark Gahey, but Palace want $50 million for him with 1 year left on his contract. Is he worth that? And what should Newcastle be spending their potential Isak money on? We'll tell you which Premier League side wants Raheem Sterling after Chelsea removed him from their website, and we'll be asking whether Sterling has a future in England's top flight. 6-time snooker world champion Steve Davis will be joining us on the show later, and Gabby's been having a little chat with Palace and England midfielder Adam Wharton. So before we hear that, tomorrow he'll give us his England 11 made up of players that have it all to do this season to book their place on the plane to the World Cup. All that plus we'll be joined by Andy Goldstein following his Florida Open game, which has just gotten underway. We'll keep you right up to date with that. This is Drive on talkSPORT. You can get involved, you know that. Give us a call, 03 717 223344.
3 again for Natalie Sawyer to win the leg. She's got it! Gary is out! Natalie Sawyer has destroyed Darren!
I think that's a case of one-hit wonder for me. Not sure I'll be ever able to do that again. How you doing, Gabby?
I'm very well, thank you. Enjoyed that little interview with Adam Wharton. Seems like a good fella.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, and we'll play it properly for you tomorrow. But we hope Maybe to get a little snippet later.
Maybe if they're lucky.
If they're lucky.
If the audience are lucky.
Okay, all right. Well, before we get stuck into Newcastle's latest transfer woes, a reminder, as we said, Andy Goldstein's opening clash at the Florida Open pool is underway, and you can actually watch that live over on talkSPORT's YouTube channel right now. Well, we need to get it on here somewhere.
I know, somehow. Yeah, I want to see him pot a ball.
Do you think he can do that?
No.
No. Okay. I mean, it's not an easy opponent that he's got,
exactly.
Is it? Earl Strickland.
Just do your best.
Yes.
That's all you can do.
That's what we hope, anyway. You're doing it for talkSPORT at the very least. We'll bring you all the latest with talkSPORT's Ollie Klink shortly. But Newcastle now are reportedly back in for the Palace defender Mark Gahey and could also be willing to sell their striker. So how could they spend their Isak money?
Into the near post. It's headed in by Mark Gahey. Crystal Palace lead.
They want to be successful and planning for the future where they expect to be in European football, then they're going to need a bigger squad. But Gay is an upgrade on what they've got, and he's a top 4 player, yeah.
You've got to make that decision whether you can afford to keep him for another year and then lose him on a free transfer or whatever, or take the money and reinvest it.
Ball into the box from Kouyaté and turned in by Gahey at the near post, and Palace do have hope.
OK, before we discuss then this potential move to Newcastle for Mark Gahey, we've got to take you to the Florida Open to check in with how Andy Goldstein is getting on. Ollie Klink is keeping across it for us. Ollie, how's he getting on?
Yeah, from the stunning Caribe Royale Resort in Orlando, I might add there, Natalie. It's a world-class 255-player field and Andy Goldstein competing for glory. It doesn't get more difficult, though, than this first game. He's taking on a man called Earl Strickland, who I've just looked up on Wikipedia. This man is the Lionel Messi of pool. Seriously, 3 world titles, over 100 championship titles. He was Billiards Digest Player of the Year in 1984, 1985, 1987, 1988 and 2000. He was Player of the Decade in the 80s. This is going to be tough for Andy. I think Andy fancies himself as Player of the Decade in the 90s, but for very different reasons as well. But in terms of the pool, it could be a bloodbath. Before this game, Strickland was talking about the fact that if he could compare himself to a sportsman, it would be Muhammad Ali. So in many ways, a massive victory for Andy would not only be to get a rack in this game, it feels like it would be a victory to actually pot a ball. And at the moment, he is 1-0 down in the race to 9, and Earl Strickland looks very comfortable indeed.
Did he have a bit of a swagger when he came out, Andy? Do you know, Ollie?
Oh, of course he did. He's wearing Under Armour for a game of pool, which is questionable in the first place. But at the moment, Gale Force, who is at the table, so there might be a bit of a chance in this rack, has got it all to do. He's 1-0 down against Earl Strickland so far.
All right, Ollie, more from you then. Thank you very much. And as we say, you can check in on Andy's progress right now on our talkSPORT YouTube channel. Let's get back to Newcastle, shall we?
Yes.
They look set to revive their interest in Crystal Palace defender Mark Gahey. If you remember, this time last year, they had shown their interest in him. They reportedly don't want to spend any more than 40 million on him, although Palace are holding out for around 50, with Gahey having just a year left on his current contract. The club last night also put in a bid of 70 million euros plus add-ons for the RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko as a potential replacement for Alexander Isak. However, earlier today it emerged that Manchester United had also put in an offer for the player. talkSPORT's transfer guru Ben Jacobs joined Paul Hawksby and Andy Townsend and had all the details for us.
What I can tell you is that Newcastle United placed their bid without a 100% yes from Benjamin Sesko. Manchester United's tactic was only to bid if Sesko said yes. So Manchester United are confident on the player side, but their valuation is lower than Newcastle's bid. Newcastle are confident on the club-to-club side, but they don't have the full buy-in from Benjamin Sesko.
Oh, goodness me, Gabby. It feels as though it's...
I know where he's going to go.
Groundhog Day. Go on.
He's going to Manchester United. We're not talking about 10, 15, 20 million more. I think we're talking maybe 5 million more. I don't think that they're going to lose out on a deal. And it comes down to the player. The player can say, listen, I want to go to Manchester United or I'm staying here. Simple as that. Players have got a little bit of power in these situations. Manchester United have done it cleverly. They've not put a bid in until they know exactly he wants to join them.
But like I say, it's Groundhog Day.
Of course.
Again, for Newcastle. Another big name that they've been linked with, and another big name, in this case, potentially, that they're going to miss out on.
I think it's frustrating for Eddie Howe, especially, and Newcastle fans, because I'm probably missing some out here, but João Pedro, they missed out on. Mbumo, they missed out on Ekatike, they missed out on Gahey, Trafford, now maybe Sesko as well. It seems any time Newcastle go in for a player, someone else is going to snap them up. Even Gahey, don't be surprised if Liverpool come and snap him up. And I'm speaking to Gahey as well, because Kanate, there's talk that Real Madrid are sniffing around him, like what they've done with Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Liverpool need another centre-half for sure before the window closes. So frustrating for Newcastle. I think Newcastle, if they tried to sign me, maybe they would miss out on me. And another club would get me. So it's not looking good for Eddie Howe at the moment, and frustrated Newcastle fans.
So tell us then, what's going wrong? Why are Newcastle not able to attract these players then?
I think if you look at it, Champions League football will attract players, but if you're being honest, will Newcastle be playing Champions League football this time next year? I don't think they will. I don't think they finish in the top 4.
Well, Rio Ferdinand doesn't think Manchester United will be playing Champions League football.
But it's Manchester United. They've still got that pull. There's a reason why Mbumo went to Manchester United, not Spurs. He could have went Champions League football at Spurs with his old manager, Thomas Frank. He chose Manchester United. Yes, wages, they will offer more than Newcastle and Spurs, but also the history of that club, it's still there. The big players that have played there, the power that they still have in a transfer window is showing. Cunha could have went to clubs that are playing in the Champions League. He chose Manchester United. So that's the problem for me, is that if I'm Sesko, I am choosing Manchester United before I'm choosing Newcastle. That's just the way it goes.
When there's a club that's on a rebuild like they are, is that appealing?
I think it is appealing because it can't get any worse. You know, if you're Mbumo, Cunha and you're Sesko now, maybe going to Manchester United, you can't get any worse. We're going to be part of bringing Manchester United further up the table. And Newcastle, yes, Champions League football. But I've said this before, and Newcastle fans have hammered me for it, but Newcastle are a big club in Newcastle. Manchester United are a big club around the world. That's the difference. And this just speaks volumes. The players that they've missed out on. Jared Pedro chose Chelsea, and Mbumo chose Manchester United. Ekatike chose Liverpool. Gahey, if he knows that he got a chance to go in Liverpool, he will hold out for Liverpool as well before Newcastle. Just the way it goes. Real Madrid come and took Trent from Liverpool. There's a pecking order.
So we were saying 40 million is what Newcastle have suggested that they want to pay for Gahey. Palace want 50. 50, is that a good price? Is that a snip or is that too much?
I think £10 million for England international, and he starts in our best defence for the national team. Reliable, quick, good on the ball, good in the air, can run out with the ball from the back and play. 25 years of age as well. You're playing Champions League football where you need 4 top centre-halves. Cher is getting on a bit now into his 30s. Dan Burn, very good defender in his 30s. Botman, injury problems. We're not sure how is he going to be able to get through a whole season. So they probably need 2 centre-halves, not just 1. So you've got to swallow the fact that you're paying maybe 10 million more than you want to, because I'm sure Crystal Palace will say, oh, well, he stays here. We're willing to lose him on a free transfer because maybe they think Liverpool might come in late in the transfer window as well. So if I'm Newcastle, just go and get him because he's a top
So your point is, don't argue about 10 million.
Yeah, don't argue about 10 million. Go and get him. And like we spoke about yesterday, Wissa, these players, the clubs have got every right. What they value a player at, you pay it or he stays. It's quite simple.
Yeah, we're still waiting to find out what's happening with the Johan Wissa situation as well. But as things stand, well, Newcastle have certainly put a bid in for around 70 million euros, plus add-ons for the RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. He's in hot demand because Manchester United likewise have put a bid in as well, and you can see the pros and cons for both potentially, in the sense that there's no European football at Manchester United. We know that, and in 3 of the last 4 seasons, Sesko's played in the Champions League.
Exactly.
But
for the sake of one season with Newcastle in the Champions League, he might say, will we be playing Champions League next season? I'm not sure. With how powerful Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and Man City are.
You know, we talk about the Liverpool forward line. If they get Sesko done, how exciting does that become? For
very exciting. United? The options they've got. I just don't know why he doesn't change formation. The team, the players that they've got, they're built for a 4-3-3. Cunha, Mbumo, Sesko. So I mean, imagine Cunha Cunha off the left, Sesko down the middle, and Mbumo off the right. You've got Diallo, who can cover off the right as well. You've got Mount and Fernandes as 2 8s. You've got Casemiro or Manu as a sitter.
I'm with you on Brian and Burma on the right. That's
100%.
Best position is. And then, of course, you've got Bruno Fernandes, who is part of the whole contribution of that forward line as well.
But what I would say, Natalie, is that if I'm Isak, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, Manchester United, because if they get Sesko, Isak, you're going nowhere.
Do you think?
Get yourself back into training. You are going nowhere because there's no other top striker out there that anybody is interested in.
Okay.
It was Osimhen, gone to Galatasaray, Gyökeres, who's gone to Arsenal, and Sesko's the last one that Arsenal pulled out of about a month, 6 weeks ago. So now, if I'm Newcastle, I'm saying to Isak, listen, get back in with the team because you're going nowhere.
All right. Goodness me, they're running out of options, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And certainly Newcastle fans might be thinking this transfer window is not exactly going to plan. Newcastle fans, let us know, though, if Isak does get done in the sense of a move to Liverpool, where would you like to see that money spent? Or, alternatively, would you rather just stick with him, keep him in the team and hope that he, you all forgive and forget and can focus on a brand new season? 03717 2233 44. That's the number to call us on this afternoon if you want to join us here on Drive. We'll keep you updated on how Andy is faring in Florida. Not an easy task taking on Earl Strickland. Don't forget you can tune into our YouTube channel as well to see how he's getting on. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. Still to come, Gabby will be giving us his players to watch for this upcoming season. But just quickly, the Rangers boss, Russell Martin, has said that the criticism of his players following their draw against Motherwell over the weekend came from a place of love. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Cute.
He just wants more.
Yeah.
A bit more.
Exactly.
More to come from them. Bit better.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah. And regular talkSPORT Drive host Andy Goldstein has jetted off to Orlando this week to take part in the Florida Open Pool Championship. He's up against the all-time great Earl the Pearl Strickland in his first round tie, which you can watch over on our talkSPORT YouTube channel right now. He is in action, and my goodness, he's out of his seat as well. I mean, this is how dominant Earl Strickland has been. But Andy is out there. Oh, not for very long.
Shot?
Not for very long, Ollie Clink.
What's going on? It's Earl Strickland 3, Andy Goldstein 0. I tell you what, the last rack, having slumped to a 2-0 deficit, Andy Goldstein, he headed into that last rack, and there was a couple of shots from Earl the Pearl, the Lionel Messi of pool, that you'd have expected him to make, and he didn't. He allowed Goldstein to approach the table. Did Andy take advantage? He absolutely didn't. He potted a few balls, but then right when it mattered, he couldn't get it over the line, and Strickland was able to come to the table, oozing class, and put himself in a commanding 3-0 lead. And you can see the pain already on the face
Ollie.
of Goldstein in the corner.
And Andy might as well be sitting next to me and Natalie. Terrible player.
Effective he is.
Terrible player.
There have been shakes of the head. He seems to be crumbling under the bright lights of table number 1 in Florida, I've got to tell you now, Gabby Agbonlahor. Also, he's got quite a suspiciously nice tan, considering he's only been in Florida for about a day.
What are you saying? A bit of fake tan, maybe?
I reckon that's got to be fake, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be fake.
That, or he's been out sunning himself and not concentrating on the pool that he should have been practicing for, that's for sure.
Either way, it's embarrassing so far for Goldstein, and needs up his game.
He's back out.
He's got a
Stay
chance.
with you for this.
Oh,
See how he gets on
Stay
with
with
the
me.
shot.
Look at Gale.
Look at him.
Gale Force there, tucking in his T-shirt once again, trying to look like one of the pros. It's the only way he can.
I think he's snookered as well, isn't he? Yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble, yeah, because he's trying to hit pink ball number 4. It's a race to 9 in this 9-ball pool. That fabulous Barnet is glinting under those lights because of the amount of hairspray in there. Here he goes, trying to hit ball number 4, and he hits ball number 9, which means Strickland comes back to the table. It's not going well so far.
This is actually embarrassing. Oh my
Fair
God!
play to him to do this, because there's no chance I'd be getting anywhere near a pool table. I'd have certainly gone, no, thank you. I'm not going to be embarrassed like this. But he's doing it and enjoying it. But I mean, this is just going to be a walk in the park for Earl.
Earl is not. It's not just a walk in the park. It's an absolute stroll. So far, he knows that even if he messes up, he can miss every single shot. He still knows he's going to beat Goldstein 9-0 so far, as he easily pots ball number 4, something Goldstein couldn't do when he was at the table.
Was perfect. I would do a better job than that, and I can't even hold the cue properly.
Hang on.
That was embarrassing.
talkSPORT and Matchroom listening. This could be.
Honestly, Andy,
the new one to
I actually
look out
messaged him a couple of hours ago saying, good luck today, mate. He said, thank you, but I wish I didn't. This is embarrassing, mate.
He needed the luck, mate.
Oh, he's more than luck.
The sentiment was there, Gabby. That's the main thing out of all
Honestly.
this. Right, okay.
I'm not getting paid.
Ollie, we'll leave you to it for now. But yeah, it seems as though this could be over very, very soon. You better check out on our YouTube channel how Andy fares. And if you're streaming or thinking, I want to stream talkSPORT right now, every now and then when we have our updates, we show you exactly how Andy is faring as well. We're going to just park that for the moment, talk Newcastle, shall we, and see how Newcastle fans are feeling about potentially losing out on yet another striker. There is still the issue of Alexander Isak and what's going to happen with him. If he goes, how will you spend that money? Let's bring in a Newcastle fan, Samuel, who's rung up to have his say today. How you doing, Samuel?
Hello, Samuel.
Not bad, thank you. Not bad, thank you, guys. How about yourselves?
Yeah, we're good, thank you. Thanks for joining us. So tell us where you stand on everything right now with your club.
Obviously, it's frustrating as a Newcastle fan. You've got Isaac, who potentially doesn't want to be there. I mean, you can appreciate he wants to go on to bigger and better things. Newcastle, for me, like I said, I've been a lifelong fan, but it's frustrating how everybody seems to go on about it as being such a big club. My vision of that is, as a big club, you've got to win trophies, which other teams have plenty of. So when it comes to somebody like Sesko, a massive player, you know, he's up and coming, he's young, he's got potential. No wonder he's swayed by Man U. I mean, who wouldn't be?
Yeah, the stature of Manchester United. But do you not see, like, for example, the League Cup victory is maybe the start of something? You bag Champions League football as well for next season. Isn't there the start of a rebuild again for Newcastle in the sense of trying to get yourself back to being a regular competitor at the top end?
Yeah, but with that, it's going to come time. And obviously, like you say, when you're going up against teams like Liverpool, Man U, City, Chelsea, teams like that who have trophies under the name, and granted, Man U have had a bad season, but that's not going to last forever, is it? Let's be honest. They've still got that attraction. Newcastle, they've got a big fan base, massive fan base, goes without saying, but it doesn't quite have the pull that your Man U's, your Liverpool's, Chelsea, teams like that have. And I think that's where we're struggling at the minute. We can't seem to get anybody over the line when it comes to transfer targets because other teams are coming in with a better profile,
offers,
shall we say.
Very frustrating.
Like now, from what I've read, Newcastle have offered 90 million euros in total with an upfront of 80 million euros, which is equivalent to something like 70-something million, and that's an upfront fee. Whereas Man U's isn't up front, they're doing it over stages. So that, for me, straight away, if it was going to be accepted, it would have been done by now, surely.
Oh, it's been a frustrating window, no doubt, for Newcastle right now. Thank you very much, Samuel, for your call.
Thank you,
if you want to have your say like Samuel, then get in touch. Show 3717 22 33 44. Am I right in thinking there's a smile on Andy's face, Ollie Klink?
This is quite incredible.
It's the fight back.
Oh, my word, his ears were burning, surely, because I can't believe what I've just seen. Andy Goldstein has won a rack against the great Earl, the Pearl Strickland. This is incredible. Strickland let him in because he missed a pot on ball number 7. Goldstein potted 7, then 8. He had a huge chance for 9, which he completely bottled, missed a very easy chance. But then Strickland did the same, and Goldstein, even though he was shaking like a leaf, managed to pot a ball. And I have to say, that is an incredible achievement from Andy Goldstein. You know what he can be like. But even he said, if I win a rack against Strickland, it'll be the greatest moment.
Yeah, but that doesn't count, does it?
But is the fight back on? It's only 3-1 now, Gabby.
Yeah, but he couldn't miss that final pot there. I would have potted that. You would have, Ollie.
Yeah, that is true. But give him his moment. Come on.
He's the Jake Paul of boxing to Paul years.
Are you not considering that now Earl thinks, oh, I'm having a wobble now. I'm having a wobble. The gale force has got the better of me.
The gale force is blowing strong. He's just broken once again. And that's a tricky shot for Earl Strickland to come to the table and come and play. So he's Goldstein in this game.
Tell us, Ollie, for those that are watching right now via us here on streaming services, what's the number 1 ball? The colour? The
colour of the number 1 ball is
I don't know.
Yellow. It is yellow.
Well, just because the way you said it, so I thought, yeah, there you go. So I can see what you're saying now, how tricky one that is Earl to get to.
So the rules are, Ollie, so it doesn't matter if Earl potted 8 of the balls and Andy potted the last one, he wins.
Yeah, he wins that rack, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it can be done. That's how he got let in the last time. And there's a confidence about Goldstein that we've so often seen on every single drive show. But here he goes in his Under Armour and he's missed the number 1 ball and Strickland's back.
That was rubbish.
Yeah. And maybe the gale force is now a breath of wind. We'll have to see.
Poor Earl, he's just sat down. He's like, I've got to get back up again now. Crikey. Right, keep us updated, Ollie. Thank you very much. Don't forget, we want to hear from you. It's always great to hear from you here on Drive. 03717 2233 44. Now, it's time for a bit of no Googling. Right, we've been discussing Crystal Palace's Mark Gahey's potential move to Newcastle. We want to know who was the last player to move between the 2 clubs, Gabby. Think about it. You got time. I'm going to take your phone away. I'm going to take your iPad away because you can't Google this one, but you can certainly think about it.
I've got 2 phones.
Damn it. I'll find that phone as well. We'll give you the answer after the break.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. We've been discussing Crystal Palace's Mark Gahey and a potential move to Newcastle in this summer transfer window. So we asked in today's First No Googling, who was the last player to move between the two clubs? Any idea?
Zero idea.
Zero
without Googling.
Well, no, indeed. So that you followed the rules.
I did indeed.
Came up with nothing. In fact, nobody came up with
Tough one, that is.
It's not easy. You'd have to Google, wouldn't you, really? But actually...
Darren Ambrose?
No, there are two answers, really. Because it happened in the same window, July 2016, July the 1st, in fact. Andros Townsend moved from Newcastle to Palace and Dwight Gale went the other way.
That's it? Just two?
Well, that's what I'm told, yeah.
Maybe they don't like doing business with each other.
Well, you know.
That's why it's gone up. Thought it's gone up to 50.
50 million now, because, yeah. We don't know how you work, so we're just going to...
Yeah, put the price up.
Yeah.
Pay it or he stays.
Yeah. Still to come, we'll be asking if there's still a future in the Premier League for Raheem Sterling. But, of course, we are very much keeping a track of the Gale Force. Andy Goldstein, how he's getting on in the Florida Open Pool Championship. He is taking on one of the greats, Earl the Pearl Strickland. Ollie Klink, tell us more.
Yeah, it's Strickland 4, Goldstein 1, and that's just ticked up to Strickland 5. Goldstein 1. He hasn't even got out of third gear, to be honest, Earl the Pearl. He's actually missed some pretty simple shots and got very angry with himself, but Goldstein just simply can't take advantage. One thing I have noticed, by the way, Andy Goldstein's shoes, incredibly shiny. incredibly I don't know if he used it as a tactic to try and put Strickland off, but it's not working. I guess he only uses them for one game each tournament, doesn't he? Because he's usually out by the first round. But at the moment, not looking too good, and Strickland is on easy street, 5-1 up.
Do you know what, Ollie? Sometimes at school and after school, there was people that I used to know that they're okay or poor at most sports, and just one sport they couldn't do. I mean, Andy's poor at darts. He's poor at golf. He's poor at football.
You're saying he hasn't perfected it?
Anything.
Yeah, okay.
This is meant to be the one he is good at as well.
What is he good at?
Ollie, keep us updated then.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Ollie.
You can tune into our YouTube channel right now to see how Andy fared.
Master something.
Yeah. Well...
Paddle, badminton.
Nearly a master
anything.
of none, as they say. We've had a message in very quickly. Johan Cabaye transferred between Newcastle and Palace. That's not quite true because he had Paris Saint-Germain in the middle there. So that's why that was
did he?
part of our
Okay.
no-googling. But you're right, he played for the two clubs, but
Didn't
as I
transfer.
say, it wasn't directly from one club to another. Right. Let's talk about the latest situation for Morecambe. Staff are continuing to work today, despite claims that the club would officially shut down yesterday. The club have had a chaotic summer. Recently, the owner was urged to do the right thing to stop the uncertainty and misery facing the club and its fans. The club were relegated to the Vanarama National League at the end of last season and are at risk of closure amid a financial crisis. A statement released last week by prospective buyers, Punjab Warriors and minority shareholders said that as of Monday, the 4th of August, the club is officially shut. Oh, jeez. What an awful position to find themselves in right now. Let's get more on this and discuss what it all means for the football pyramid in general as we speak to football finance expert and host of the Price of Football podcast, Kieran Maguire. Kieran, afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kieran.
Today?
Hi, team. Yeah, I always feel like the Grim Reaper when I come on. I'm never the bringer of good news, am I?
Well, that's not always true, but this certainly isn't good news. Just for those that aren't quite aware of the situation, just remind everybody of what's going on then with Morecambe.
Well, Morecambe were acquired by a guy called Jason Whittingham back in 2018. The club has been losing money. It's been up for sale for 2.5 years, and Mr. Whittingham, who has been struck off as a director in other places, has not managed to sell the club. Wages haven't been paid in the last month or two. Players have therefore left. HMRC, I think, are unpaid. The staff that are there are doing it out of the love of Morecambe Football Club. And the prospective buyer, which is Punjab Warriors, they thought they'd signed off. They'd been approved by the EFL in terms of the owners and directors test. But for whatever reason, Whittingham, who we believe lives in Essex, and so he's not a local, has refused to sign the deal. He then came up with an alternative buyer who nobody could work out who this person was, and that prospective deal that collapsed within a couple of days. So the club's limping on, but it's losing 20 grand a week, and it simply doesn't have the facilities to carry on as a business. The National League have therefore suspended the club, and if we get to the 20th of August, I think they're going to expel Morecambe from the league.
Oh my goodness. So that's why, as it stands, it hasn't officially shut down because they're awaiting that meeting, you say, on the 20th of August.
Yes. I mean, they've got the manager there. I think it's Derek Adams. He has an ever decreasing squad because I think the players declined to play in a friendly recently because they were concerned that they weren't insured. And you can absolutely understand it from a professional footballer's perspective. If you're not being paid, why go into a 50-50 tackle, which could do you a serious injury and not only prevent you from playing from Morecambe, but if Morecambe don't exist, could prevent you from playing elsewhere as well.
Kieran, what sort of money are we talking here to save Morecambe?
I think we're probably talking single millions, and it's a lot of money,
of course,
for an individual, but compared to the prices that we've seen for other clubs, I don't think it's beyond the reach of others. Certainly, as far as Punjab Warriors were concerned, they thought that they had done a deal, and the board of directors, before they all resigned, were indicating that Punjab had put money into the club in good faith, and now what's happened to that, we don't know. Mr. Whittingham, the owner, he comes and goes as far as making pronouncements on the club website is concerned. Lisa Nandy, who's the Minister for Digital Culture, Media and Sport, she's written to him and said, come on, just do the right thing. You're going to get nothing. If the club goes into liquidation, there won't be a penny for him either.
So obviously, when you mentioned Lisa Nandy there, the football regulator, we're waiting to see that finally come to fruition. Is that something that would prevent something like this happening in the future?
Well, I think potentially what the regulator can do is it can give greater scrutiny to prospective owners. So, I mean, to be fair to the EFL, they've certainly upped their game in recent years following the demise of Berry and the farce that arose with Steve Dale. So they have made it more difficult for people to acquire clubs. I think the regulator will be able to add sort of legal backing to that, statutory backing, in terms of forcing people to give evidence of A, do they have enough money to run the club, and B, to show where that money's coming from. So I think it will help, but it can't help incumbent owners because they're already in position.
It's scary to think, though, isn't it, that you're talking about single million, so it could be 3 million, 6, 7, 8, whatever. But that's some players' wages after 2-3 months in the Premier League. There's that much money floating around in football. To think that a club like Morecambe can't get even a consortium together to sort of try and save the club.
That's right. And remember, it was only a few months ago that Morecambe were playing at Stamford Bridge in the FA Cup. And
wow.
For Morecambe fans, this was one of the best days out they've ever had. It wasn't about, you always go in hope as a football fan, but they knew what the result was likely to be. But to be able to say that they've been as far as the third round of the FA Cup and they played a club as successful and prestigious as Chelsea, it is something that you cherish as a fan forevermore. And for all of those opportunities to have future dreams and future shared experiences taken away by one individual, and this is the scary thing, it's always comes down to one person. It's normally one bloke who for whatever reason isn't prepared to support the club.
Just in general then, in terms of football and where it's at right now, we know Premier League clubs, despite some of them being in debt, will always be okay in the main, unless they obviously go through a relegation and the picture changes slightly. We've seen what's going on with Sheffield Wednesday as well right now. The uncertainty still reigns around them. How do you see the sustainability of football and of the English pyramid as things stand?
It's as sustainable as the owners are. I think that's always the crisis point. If we take a look at the Championship, the average losses, the operating losses, are around about £400,000 a week. So you need somebody with a big checkbook. You need somebody with the ability to cover those losses as they arise. What concerns me is that I've seen the losses in League One in particular increase in the last 2 to 3 years because the step up from League One to the Championship in terms of TV money is very attractive. So you've got more owners gambling in League One. League Two is probably not as bad, but there's still nobody's making money. We say that the club's doing well if it's only losing 10 grand a week or 15 grand a week, and I think we've become sort of inoculated to the idea of sustainability is that the club should be able to stand on its own 2 feet. And I think with an exception of a couple of the sort of the fan-owned clubs, the likes of Exeter City and Wimbledon, and even Wimbledon's, they are reliant on selling players to make ends meet. It's simply not happening in football. And if the owner's circumstances change, if their private business has a problem and they can't find the funds, we've got an issue. And sometimes it's simply the attitude of the owner. They've said, I've been doing this for the last 5 years. We're losing money every week. The fans are calling me this, that and the other, wanting me out. I've had enough. The clubs don't have the resources to continue.
And I suppose, just quickly, bear in mind where Morecambe find themselves currently in the National League, does that also filter down into the National League in terms of losses?
Yes, I mean, we saw Wrexham and Stockport when they were both promoted. They lost between £4 to £5 million over the course of the season. Yeah, that's almost £100,000 a week, and that's at Tier 5 or Division 5 of football. It is part of the National League because again, clubs want to get into the EFL. You absolutely understand it, and therefore they gamble as a result.
Yeah, Kieran, it's always fascinating. Thank you.
Thank you, Kieran.
Today.
Thanks, team.
Kieran Maguire, their financial football experts. Worrying times for Wharton.
Of course it is.
And a story that we'll keep you regularly across. I know White and Jordan, or as it's been, Oladipo and Jordan over the last few days have certainly been right across it here on talkSPORT.
Where's Tyson Fury when you need him?
Well, this is what...
Put that in his ashtray.
Absolutely, loads of people are saying that. It'd be nothing to his pocket change.
Pocket change.
Just to save his local club. It'd be amazing.
Take it out what you got to earn against AJ in that.
Do you know what a hero he'd be?
Oh, imagine. Yeah, yeah. Obviously, he's not obliged to do it, but
no.
I think if I was in his position, I would.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you're right. He's not obliged to do it. He can do what he likes with his money, but it would just look good.
Mr.
Save your local. Yeah. Gosh, you can change the ground to Fury Stadium and all sorts. Right, stage fights there and everything.
You know what, though? You never know. Maybe he comes in at the last second and saves the club.
Yeah, well, that would be like a Superman.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Right, we are keeping very much across what's happening with Andy. It's fair to say he's not got long left out there. We'll keep you on track of what happens with Andy then, who's facing Earl Strickland, Earl the Pearl. And the Pearl is winning the way as things stand. This is talkSPORT Drive.
You ain't ready! You're not ready, Dawson, are you?
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. Still to come, I'm going to be asking if there's still a future in the Premier League for Raheem Sterling. But just quickly, England will discover the extent of Chris Wokes' shoulder injury later this week. What a hero he was when he came out to bat in that fifth and final test against India. Didn't actually face a ball in the end, but my goodness, his arm was in a sling and was out there for about 16 minutes or so. But not many people would do that.
No, I wouldn't.
Crikey, incredible. We are keeping across Andy Goldstein, who is in action right now in his 9-ball pool match with the legend that is Earl Strickland at the Florida Open. You can check it out right now on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. Ollie Klink is watching it for us, and I guess it's just a matter of minutes, really, for how long he's got out there.
Yeah, it's Earl Strickland 7, Andy Goldstein 1. It's a race to 9. It is quite funny because it's an absolute non-contest. Any of that confidence we saw in the early Rex is absolutely drained from Goldstein. He's been missing shots that even I would have potted. And I think Strickland's wondering why he's even had to face Andy, because I think even a bye would have been a more difficult game at this stage.
Who is this guy? I'm playing against?
Exactly.
Is this not a serious tournament? What's going on?
He's literally been chatting with the punters, Strickland. And the other funny thing is that if you're not watching on the YouTube stream, Andy is dressed to the nines. He looks really smart. He's got Gale Force emblazoned across his shirt. Earl Strickland is wearing a sweet little jumper that your granddad would wear at Christmas.
Do you know what I want to see, Ollie? I want to see when the game's over, you just see 2 security guards come and score Andy out. He's more like a fan that's playing, isn't he?
He is.
More like a pool fan who's got a game.
Can we check your credentials just for a moment?
This way, please, mate. Come on. You'll come with us. Come on.
I mean, there's wild cards, and then there's a wild card, and that's Andy Goldstein for sure.
There is so much pain etched on the face of Andy Goldstein, which is also covered in fake tan. I mean, this was his big moment, and he has floundered, I'm afraid. And it's easy treat for Strickland. He's looking to go 8-1 up. Shouldn't be too difficult as he pots the number 7. 2 balls left, and then
such ease.
Goldstein is facing down yet another defeat at a major tournament.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
That's the phrase.
That's what my dad used to say to me.
That's the one.
Until I got scouted, then he didn't say
Then
to
he
me.
couldn't say much more, could he?
He'd say to my brothers and sisters.
But he could say, but I'm a doctor, so...
Yeah,
you know,
material
pretty
science.
intelligent, isn't he? Hey, what do you mean you did like that inverted comma like he's not a real thing?
Oh, no comment. You'll get us arguing again.
This is your dad. Ollie,
wow.
What's that? Is it done?
8-1.
8-1.
It's 8-1.
Oh,
It's 8-1. It's a disaster.
I think we should disown him.
You see, if you win, if you lose a rack, do you have to rack them up for the next game or not?
What if you lose one rack?
As in Andy now has to...
Yeah, I feel like Andy should have to, you've lost 8, so have to go, get the balls out, pal.
Yeah. You've done no work at all in this.
Yeah.
You need to leave.
Go on, you get the balls out from your mouth. I'm going to have a drink. Go on.
Yeah, you stick 50p in the pool table, Goldstein. You're 8-1 down.
Oh, dear.
It'll be out of pocket by the end of this game. I'll tell you that for free.
Ollie, thank you for
Top
now.
man, Ollie.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time now, isn't it? Unfortunately, for Andy bowing out. Have we got time for this, Joe? I just want to check. Yes, we have. All right. We're just 10 days away from the turn of the Premier League, and talkSPORT, as ever, will be your place to be. It all kicks off a week on Friday when Liverpool host Bournemouth, live and exclusively right here on talkSPORT. So we thought it'd be a good time for Gabby to cast his eye over the ones to watch during this upcoming season.
I think number one that stands out for me is Wirtz.
Yeah.
116 million transfer to Liverpool. I remember watching him at the World Cup, and outstanding player. Can play in that number 8 role, can play off the left, number 10. Just that low centre of gravity, dribbling skills, left foot, right foot, is going to be a joy to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Could end up pushing Zoboslai out of that team, that starting 11.
He was doing really well last
Yes,
season.
exactly. So he's going to be one to watch. Looking forward to that. But another one that stands out is Shirky for Manchester City.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I've seen him play, and I've even clips of him in training, his left foot's like a wand, Natalie. No, you see some players. Think about Phil Foden's left foot, and think about a better left foot than that.
That's what Shirky.
Yes, and I think he's going to be like a big role in this Manchester City rebuild this coming season, and he could be the player that Phil Foden's fighting for time on the pitch with.
Oh, but with the World Cup.
Exactly, Foden needs to start because they've got Marmouche, they've got Doku, they've got Oscar Bobbs back as well. Pep's a big admirer of his as well. So we've got so many options in that forward line. But Shirky's one to watch. Jokeres, of course. I want to see if he can do it in the big boy league. Scored plenty of goals in the Portuguese league, but can he do it in the Premier League? Kudus, another one. Madueke. I really want him to show the Arsenal fans that were mocking him for signing for the club. He's an outstanding player, played for his country as well under Thomas Tuchel.
I don't get that.
I don't get why Arsenal fans...
Setting up a petition.
Exactly. Grow up.
Exactly, I was just thinking that.
Yeah,
How
grow up.
immature are you?
Pathetic. Also, Frimpong, what's he going to be like at fullback? He'll have to fight with Bradley because he's a very good fullback as well. So, be interesting how he does going forward. And the big one for me is Liam Delap. I really want to see Liam Delap take that number 9. There's talk about Nicholas Jackson going, but if you look at the Club World Cup, João Pedro done fantastic as a number 9, not off the left-hand side. So you could see a scenario where Chelsea have got Gittins, they've got Palmer, they've got Neto, they've got options as well on the wing. So maybe Delap is fighting with João Pedro.
Do you think Delap could head to the World Cup?
I think he's got every chance.
Yeah.
But he has to really grab this number 9 position. Champions League football. Can you score goals at the highest level? That's what Thomas Tuchel will be looking at Liam Delap. And maybe want to finish Paqueta. You know, now the charges have been dropped, aren't they, on his betting scandal, what you call it. But can he now be free? You know, no stress. Can you go and show the Paqueta that Manchester City were going to pay 70-80 million for? I reckon this will be a season where West Ham see him back to his best.
And they'll need it.
Oh, 100% they will.
And you consider it was not a great first sort of introduction for Graham Potter at West Ham. I know it was not a full season, but...
You can't perform, Natalie, when you got that on your...
Yeah.
It
you
was,
don't know how long you might be banned for.
It was going to be life, they were saying.
Well, that's potentially correct, yeah.
Your future, your family's future, and now... Nice.
Yeah.
Relax. Go and enjoy your football, Paqueta.
Yeah, very much so. Okay, good 5. I like that. Let us know who your 5 to watch are if you want. You can text us to 81089. You can WhatsApp us on 03717 223344. And on the way next, what next for Raheem Sterling?
How did it all come crashing down for Wales so suddenly? In his first tenure in charge, Warren Gatland built a dynasty, taking young guns and turning them into giants, not just for Wales, but for the Lions as well. 4 Six Nations titles, 3 of them Grand Slams, and in 2019, a world #1 ranking. But then, a record drop-off, golden generation all but gone, a first wooden spoon for 21 years and 14 losses on the bounce. Why? Perhaps the main reason was poor spending. During Gatland's first tenure, the WRU committed its funds to world-leading training facilities for the national side, but underinvested in the club scene. Despite Ireland raking in similar overall revenues, its union would be committing up to £30 million a year more than Wales to their provincial clubs. In 2023, a report found the WRU had flitted away an £84 million TV deal on the purchase of a Cardiff hotel and a zip wire above the Principality. At the same time, the regional budgets and salary caps were being slashed, and they're still being cut. Add this to a distinct lack of player pathways when compared to the private school-fueled setups in Ireland, Scotland and England, the continuous rise of football's popularity and generational talents going elsewhere. It all meant when Abby Tierney became CEO, having never worked in sport before, she had a mountain to climb. And yet the beauty of sport, of course, is it isn't played in the boardroom, and sometimes it takes surprisingly little for the narrative to shift almost overnight. When Gatland left for the second time, interim coach Matt Sherratt only had 3 training sessions before Wales' next game, but the team looked unrecognisable, and all he did was pick players in the right positions and provide a bit of attacking structure. Suddenly, Wales were back pushing Ireland to the wire. As Gatland's first tenure taught us, for Wales' success to be sustainable, once the books are balanced, the regions need more money, salary caps need boosting, player pathways need investment. But it doesn't have to mean Wales lose every game in the meantime.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. Still to come, we'll be joined.
Moment, and he has
Hello, Ollie.
I'm afraid.
Oh, there was a little snippet there. We're going to be joined by our chief football correspondent, Alex Crook, for all the very latest on Benjamin Sesko. But now, is there still a future in the Premier League for this man?
Sterling to hammer it! It's 3! Raheem Sterling placed it to perfection. No chance for the goalkeeper.
I don't like to say it, but he looks a little bit lost at the moment.
Yeah.
And he don't know really what he's trying to achieve on that pitch.
When you get a young player who starts really young, after a while they start to really slow down, you start to see it.
Whether it's a confidence thing, which is he just doesn't seem to have that spark, as you say, that confidence to take on the right back.
Gusto first time cross, Sterling! Turns it in for 2! 2 for Raheem Sterling, 2 for Chelsea.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling has been linked with a move away from Chelsea, as it seems as though his future is lying elsewhere. We'll get to more of that in just a moment. But of course, we need to know what's happened with Andy Goldstein, don't we? In that 9-ball pool game that he was playing with the legend that is Earl Strickland. Ollie Klink has been watching it for us. And, well, your day's done for now anyway, Ollie.
Yeah, Natalie, it's all over. It's an absolute thumping. Earl the Pearl Strickland has beaten Andy Goldstein by 9 racks to 1. A crumb of comfort for Goldstein. He did manage to take 1 rack off the Lionel Messi of pool, but it was a walk in the park, really, for Strickland. He was even giving Goldstein tips on how to improve after the game. There would have been plenty. I don't know how long Strickland had. He could have been there for hours because Goldstein was hardly out of his seat. When he was, he failed to take advantage. He crumbled under the lights of table number 1 at the Caribe Royale Resort in Orlando. He's only got himself to blame. There wasn't a breath of wind in Florida because it finished in round 1. Earl the Pearl Strickland 9, Andy the Gale Force Goldstein 1.
It's a hammering. Ollie, thank you.
Thank you.
And I think Andy's going to join us a little bit later this hour.
I don't want to speak to him. Disgraceful performance.
Shameful.
Shameful.
Why don't you just tell him? Shame.
talkSPORT.
Yes.
You know, for talkSPORT, you've embarrassed
Is
us.
that emblazoned on his shirt as well?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Disgraceful.
Let's sponsor someone with a bit more
Yes.
credibility.
You're not wrong.
Oh, dear. But look, he has a chance of winning another tournament out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the losers all go through to another tournament.
The Losers' Cup.
The Losers' Cup, which I think he'll be playing tomorrow, that first round match. So he might have a chance.
Can't wait to see that.
Let's hope. Let's G him up. But we'll speak to him later, see how he feels as well. Right, Raheem Sterling's been linked with a move to West Ham and Fulham today. It comes after he was left off of Chelsea's website ahead of the upcoming season. Sterling spent last season on loan at Arsenal and has been told that Enzo Maresca has no plans for him in the first team this season. So does he have a future in the Premier League? Now, before we get to matters of where next for Sterling, presumably, obviously, he's had these conversations with Enzo Maresca and everybody at Chelsea.
Yeah.
It still feels a little cutting that you omit him from your website before he's even gone.
Yeah, well, we spoke about this yesterday. When a club doesn't want you, they'll do anything to maybe upset you and get you out. There's no loyalty in football. But I was so happy we're speaking about this today, Natalie, because I want to have this chance to appreciate Sterling.
Okay.
You know, he's got 2 years left at Chelsea. He's not done yet. But Raheem Sterling made his senior debut for Liverpool age 17. Wow. So he's been playing 13 years at the elite level, played nearly 600 games, probably over 600 games, including England games.
Yeah, internationals,
He's played 396 Premier League games, 123 goals. You know what I mean? We forget what Sterling's done. This one stood out to me. 27 Champions League goals in 88 Champions League games.
Wow.
27 Champions League goals. 20 goals for his country in 82 caps.
He's only 30.
Exactly.
So are you sort of maybe suggesting there's an element of burnout with him?
Yeah, an element of burnout. But also, I just want to, people like to badmouth Sterling. He's not this, he's not world class. At one stage in his career, he was world class.
Yeah.
And I think even the trophies, he's won 4 Premier Leagues, 5 League Cups, an FA Cup. As Mikel Arteta would say, 2 Community Shields. Can't forget about the Community Shield. So for me, I want to look at him and say, wow, if he retired today, he's had an unbelievable career. And he's not the same player he used to be. We've seen that at Arsenal. We've seen that at Chelsea. But is there a club in the Premier League that could do with that experience and what he can still offer as a player? Yes, there is.
Who?
Multiple clubs. Your club, Brentford. Is there West Ham? Is there clubs around that mid-table mark that could do with a Raheem Sterling? Because, yes, Arsenal last season, he didn't look the Raheem Sterling of Liverpool and Manchester City. But still, I think there's a level in there that he can play in the Premier League.
West Ham, certainly one of the clubs identified as interested in him. Likewise, Fulham, 2 clubs who have been pretty quiet in this summer window so far. Who do you think would be best suited of those 2?
I think Fulham would suit him. But, you know, we were talking about Jack Grealish. It might happen right before the window closes. This is another one because I would imagine Raheem Sterling's on over £250,000 a week. I know he's on very, very big money at Chelsea. So maybe Chelsea are asking for silly amounts to be paid. No club like Fulham, you talk about West Ham, are going to pay that sort of money. But maybe last few days of the window, it's a case of Chelsea take an offer of 50% off his wages. Maybe similar to a Man City situation with Jack Grealish, a Sancho situation at Manchester United and Anthony. So these clubs are going to have to not get the deals that they want.
But is he the sort of player, as you say, goes to Fulham or goes to West Ham, is going to be playing every game? Or is it more you use him as and when?
I think you get him in and you see where the standard is. I mean, obviously you're going to have the conversations with him and see if his head's right. You don't even come in if he's not, because he's played at the top. Some players might not want to go to a West Ham and a Fulham. If he does and he's still hungry to play in the Premier League, then I think you look at him and you see, okay, if he's playing at the level, then I think he will start for both of them teams. If he's not, then maybe he's an impact player. But if you can get the right wages that you're paying towards it from Chelsea, then I see it as a no-brainer because I don't think anyone's going to buy him. 2 years left on his contract on that big salary. So I think a loan deal for a lot of these players is the only way.
Just going back onto what you were saying, or what we were alluding to, maybe potential burnout. because he started at such a young age. How can players be managed better? Because when you're looked at as a prodigy, like he would have been, as someone who, you know, at 17, it's very rare that players are breaking into the scene and then being regulars at such a young age. So how can you manage players better so that we're not getting to a stage where we're talking about potential burnout? Because there's worry about Bukayo Saka.
Oh, of course. I think it's difficult because if you're good enough, then you're ready to play.
Yeah.
So when you're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, really go to the manager and say, I don't want burnout when I'm 29, 30.
No, of course.
So it's difficult, and clubs aren't going to look at that. Managers haven't got time. They're going to play their best players. So if Raheem Sterling was playing every game for Manchester City because you had Sane on one side, you had Sterling, Aguero, and it's working, and they're doing their tests as they do with the physios and the sports science, then they're going to just keep playing you. But we have to look at Raheem Sterling now and respect what he's done in the game and say to ourselves, let's not give him too much stick. You know, some people go over, do you know what I mean? They go over the line on social media. Oh, he's rubbish. He's this. Listen, if he retired today, he'd go down as a Premier League legend for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with you. Sammy's here going, Nottingham Forest should go for Raheem Sterling.
Lost Alanga, why not?
Say.
And I think, Natalie, like I said, when you get to the last couple of days, Chelsea are going to be like, we do not want this guy. We can even £100,000 a week towards his £300,000 wages. Okay, deal. Because over a course of 12 months, that's big money to save.
Loads of people getting in touch about Andy. I know. For charity at a time and venue of his choice. It could be the Battle of the Andes. Quite like that. This is a suggestion to a pool competition instead of Andy the Slight Breeze Goldstein. This one suggests that I did better at darts than he did. I can tell you for certain I shall not be entering a pool tournament. I'm not even sure I'll play darts ever again. I'm going out on a high.
But when we watched it there, and come on, that was like an absolute disgrace. He's going to be in the change rooms now, probably like security ready to kick him out. Tomorrow he's playing the losers tournament, probably lose that as well. Andy, I'm disappointed, mate. Football, darts, golf, pool. What are you good at, mate? Well, if you're listening, Andy, what are you good at?
Well, we're going to speak to him later. Rick Akers is saying, I hope Andy doesn't get beaten 9-0 tomorrow in the Losers' Cup. That would be terrible. The Barnet would lose its lustre. It really would, wouldn't it? In that heat of Florida as well.
At least the fake tan looked good.
It did look.
Didn't he? He looked very tanned.
Did have a tan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting back onto the Sterling matter then, we want to know what you think about him and where his future lies, I should say. Does he still have a future in the Premier League? Why not get in touch on 03717 223344. Great to hear from you. Great to hear your view on Raheem Sterling, Newcastle, and all sorts that we've been talking already this afternoon here on talkSPORT Drive. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor too. Still to come, we'll be joined by Andy Goldstein following his appearance. It was fleeting at the Florida Pool Open Championship as he lost 9-1 to Earl Strickland. But he'll join us. You know, he's brave enough to come out and play.
I hope so.
That's the main thing. Just quickly, Newcastle are set to revive their interest in England defender Mark Gahey. David Moyes wants up to 6 more signings for Everton, including 2 central midfielders and 2 wide players. And now, how about this? A leaked document appears to suggest that Hartlepool United chairman Raj Singh has sent a letter to other clubs within the National League asking that lifelong fan, former president as well of the club and talkSPORT Breakfast host Jeff Stelling is not provided with a dignitary space for Hartlepool fixtures at any other ground this season. Now, Jeff resigned from his role at Hartlepool United as the president over the treatment of people trying to take over the club back in May. But somehow this letter has been leaked and we're just going to read it to you. It says, "Dear club chair or secretary, you may be aware from media coverage that Jeff Stelling has resigned as honorary president of Hartlepool United Football Club. As chairman of Hartlepool United Football Club, I would kindly and considerately ask that Mr. Stelling is therefore not provided with official HUFC dignitary spaces in your boardroom or equivalent for any Hartlepool United fixture at your home ground. In the unlikely event," it goes on to say, "that Mr. Stelling independently attends any Hartlepool United fixture at your home ground, I would further request that you consider to seat Mr. Stelling separately to any HUFC dignitaries or staff. Kind regards." Jeff said in a statement on X that supporters had been left in an intolerable position by the actions of current owner Raj Singh, who has written that letter. So obviously this relationship is completely broken down between Jeff and Raj Singh here. I mean, for him to be writing to other clubs, I mean, look, in the main, I suppose, now that he's no longer on a board or part of the, as an honorary president, in a way, no longer part of the club, in a way, he shouldn't necessarily be in the board based on invites because of his Hartlepool position. Yeah. But to write a letter... Petty, isn't it? It's just ridiculous. Very petty. Especially when Jeff is such a huge fan.
Yeah, and I feel that...
And constantly talks about Hartlepool.
Yeah, and bigs Hartlepool up, loves the club. And if I'm the other clubs in the league, I'm like, nah, you know what? Jeff Stelling's a legend.
Well, exactly.
A legend that everyone knows who Jeff Stelling is. What are you going to do? Go and put him next to, you know what I mean, the toilet? What are you talking about? Like,
it's ridiculous.
Very, very petty. And I'm sure tomorrow, if Jeff on tomorrow, I'm sure he'll have his say about it. But I don't like that. Seems very, very petty. How about sort out the football club with the problems that it's got?
Well, this is
spend your time on that.
Everything that Jeff has been saying about Hartlepool is because he's concerned for the future of Hartlepool. When you consider now what's happening with Morecambe, for example, what we've seen happen with Bury before, this is what Jeff is trying to fight. He's trying to ensure that there is a future, there's an existence of Hartlepool United.
And I bet Jeff's thinking, don't fight with me, fight to sort the club out that I love and the fans love. And there's issues that you're not resolving with that football club.
But to go to the extreme of writing a letter, as you say, it just seems very, very petty.
Very petty. Maybe you see me write a letter to Howard Webb. Maybe.
Did you ever get a response?
No. Devastated. Devastated. Whenever I check the post, when I wake up, I'm like, Howard? Nope. Howard? Anything? Nope.
Nothing.
But it better not happen again to my football club, because this time I'm going straight to Stockley Park.
Oh, you're driving there?
I'm driving there. I know exactly where it is.
Hammering on the door.
I don't even need a sat nav to get there. I know exactly where it is. Around the corner from Heathrow. Driving straight there, mate.
To have your say.
Howard.
You want a one-to-one with Howard?
Come out. I know you're in there.
Face me.
Face me, Howard. I'm here.
Don't forget, Jeff is back tomorrow on Breakfast from 6, so he will no doubt have a lot to say on this leaked letter.
Set my alarm.
I think you should. Now, earlier today, we had the news that Manchester United had made an offer for RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko. It follows Newcastle putting in an improved bid for him last night as they prepare for the possible departure of Alexander Isak. So let's find out where all things currently stand. talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook joins us this afternoon. Alex, how are you today?
Good afternoon. I can't believe Gabby is still bleating about that decision on the last day of last season.
Careful what you say. That was a terrible decision. It cost us all. We can't buy any players because of that decision.
Yeah, but Villa were terrible. You lost to the worst Manchester United team in 30 years.
It don't matter, Crookie. It's okay saying that where you are. Come in here.
Listen, I remember being on with him at the time and we both talked about it. You were fuming, but I did say it's not like, it all came down to that one moment because you weren't very good at it.
And also Martinez, it was never a red card. Hoyland wouldn't have scored anyway.
Okay, you've started him off.
Hoyland wouldn't have scored that chance anyway.
All right.
Crookie.
Well, if that's the case, would Benjamin Sesko have scored that chance if he was in a Manchester United shirt? What's the latest on all of it?
I see what you did there. Yeah, Manchester United, as we've been reporting over the course of this afternoon, have now made a bid for Benjamin Sesko. Obviously rivals the bid that Newcastle made yesterday. No definitive answer yet as to if one or both of those offers will be accepted by the German team. But I think Manchester United's stance throughout their pursuit of Sesko has been they will only bid once they get the green light. The player is interested in a move to Old Trafford. Personal terms, we're told, won't be an issue. So you can only surmise now that Manchester United appears to be Sesko's preferred destination. So it could well be another target that Newcastle have got a long way down the line for that ultimately won't end up at St James's Park. And I feel sorry for Eddie Howe and Andy Howe, who's doing a lot of recruitment now in the absence of a sporting director, because they've been really ambitious in this window and they've been really aggressive in particular with this deal for Sesko, but potentially it still might not be enough.
Crooker, we're not daft though. We know that clubs don't put bids in unless the player has an idea he wants to go to the club. So is this a case of maybe Sesko leading Newcastle on a bit and waiting for Manchester United to put that bid in? Because the bid as well Man United have put in is less than what Newcastle have put in, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it will get to the same overall number when you look into the add-ons, because maybe Manchester United's are slightly more achievable than Newcastle's. But there have been reports in Germany that Sesko has told both clubs that they're his preferred destination. So maybe you're right there. He has been juggling both to ultimately see what offers he has on the table. This is going to have ramifications for Liverpool and their pursuit of Alexander Isak. I don't see a world where Newcastle allow Isak to leave without sourcing a suitable replacement. They've got other names on their list, dare I say it. Your man Ollie Watkins is one of those potential next targets if they miss out on Sesko. So there's going to be a real domino effect right throughout the Premier League, depending on what happens here.
Well,
I'm not speaking to him anymore. Go on, you carry on.
No, I was about to say, welcome to the Brentford party, when it's all like, it's the domino effect. It's affecting us. We're waiting for the next player to be picked off. So Ollie Watkins.
As the Newcastle fan Peter said once, we don't have to sell. Watkins doesn't have to go.
He doesn't have to, but he might want to. That's the difference. In fact, let's talk about quickly Yoane Wissa, because he's a player that's been linked as well with Newcastle, and it's not obviously dependent on Isak after Callum Wilson's departure. Now, he hadn't been training at Brentford from what we all know, the reports and everything, but slightly different today by the look of it.
Yeah, I think the plan was for him to be reintegrated into the group. I think that's a reflection of the fact that Brentford's stance has softened, actually. I think they've told Wissa that if they do get a suitable offer now, then they would consider it. Obviously, they're going to be working on replacements of their own. They signed Thiago, didn't they? Yeah. And he got injured at the start of last season. He's been back in pre-season, scored a goal or two. So maybe the answer is under their noses. But I think if I want to give Newcastle fans hope tonight, and I appreciate it's quite an emotive subject when it comes to transfers, and this is probably not going to be what you want to hear, Nat, I think Yoane Wissa is more likely now to happen than it was maybe a week or so ago when Brentford were holding firm. I think in an ideal world, Newcastle probably need two attackers to even contemplate letting Alexander Isak go. They definitely need to have one more attacker, even if he stays, because they've lost Callum Wilson on a free transfer at the end of the season. So they are short at the top end of the pitch. I think Anthony Gordon played as a false number 9 in their last pre-season friendly.
Do you know what else they're short on? Centre-halves, because Cher He's into his 30s now. Same with Dan Burn, Botman. Don't know what he's going to be like this season with his injury problems. What about Mark Gahey? They talk about 50 million is the asking price from Crystal Palace.
Yeah, that's not a hot topic as far as I'm concerned at the moment. All their attention is on that forward area and Wissett and Benjamin Šeško, and then they'll work down the list. I know they were really keen to sign him last summer and obviously couldn't get a deal over the line. It wouldn't surprise me, if Gay stays at Palace for one more year, lets his contract run down, and then he's going to have his pick of clubs at the end of the season, because this is a big year for Mark Gay, because I think at the moment, if we're picking our England 11 for the first game of the World Cup, I think if Mark Gay's fit, he's probably most people's starting centre-back, but he needs to be playing week in, week out for that to happen. And I think maybe he might just think, well, I'm better off staying at Palace. I'm a guaranteed starter. I get the chance to ensure that I'm on the plane and in Thomas Tuchel's first 11. And as I say, if he then has a good World Cup next summer, then these big clubs are going to be back at the table. And he is in a really strong position as a free agent to ask for a big signing on fee and lucrative wages.
Yep.
Less than a month to go. Plenty of big moves still to come. Thank you, Alex.
Don't grin off your face, Crookie.
I get my life back.
What life? What's he talking?
I know.
What's he mean? Oh, dear. Still to come, we're going to be joined by Andy Goldstein following his appearance at the Florida Pool Open Championship. But it's time, as always, for no Googling. And as we've been discussing Raheem Sterling, Gabby, we want to know, which player has he combined with for the most goals throughout his career? Ooh, a few clubs to consider. A lot of players to also think about too. No Googling. Just a reminder, which player has Raheem Sterling combined with for the most goals throughout his career? The answer's after the break.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. Still to come, we're going to be joined by Andy Goldstein following his appearance. It was a short one at the Florida Pool Open Championship. But as we've been discussing Raheem Sterling and his future, in our second no Googling of the day, we asked which player has Sterling combined with for the most goals throughout his career. Any idea, Gabby?
Sergio Aguero.
Well, right team, but not the right player.
Okay, 1 second. Let me go again. Sane.
No.
De Bruyne.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll take that.
Kevin De Bruyne. They combined for 31 goals.
Oh, no, I thought we were doing Aguero. The amount of assists
I know
that
what you mean.
Sterling and Sane were getting for Aguero. Do you remember?
I know what you're saying.
Them balls
yeah.
across the box, Aguero
Yeah.
tapping, Sterling will get tapping, Sane as well. I love watching that City team. They were frightening, weren't they?
Of course they were. That one, we all remember that Aguero moment,
Yes,
don't we? I think
indeed.
it's one of those moments where you know where you were when that happened.
Oh, of course.
I mean, I certainly do anyway, but...
I don't. My memory's terrible.
So you don't remember?
I think I
when
might
I
be
just said we
playing.
all know, you
No,
said,
I think I was probably still playing then. And maybe
Oh,
like,
yeah, you
what
might
year
be,
was it?
yeah. Oh, don't ask me. That years and things, they all blend into
2014,
one.
13?
Yeah, it's going to be
I would have
something
been
like
playing
that,
then, so
yeah.
maybe I was on the pitch myself after the game.
Exactly. That's a weird thing as well, when you come for the pitch and not knowing what's happened elsewhere and the
Especially Man United players.
ramifications.
They thought they had it.
Yeah.
Their game finished before, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. It did. Right, still to come. We are going to be joined by the 6-time snooker world champion turned DJ Steve Davis. But now, regular Drive host Andy Goldstein is currently out in Orlando taking part in the Florida Open Pool Championship. And earlier we heard how he lost by 9 racks to 1 against one of the greatest players of all time, Earl the Pearl Strickland. It's only right we speak to the man himself and find out what went wrong. Andy, how are you doing?
Firstly, the Aguero goal was 2012. Gabby, know your football when you're in my show. Secondly,
isn't it Bentley show?
How are you from sunny Florida? Are you all right? You good? You well?
We're good. I mean, we were remarking about how you've got a tan, and we were worrying about whether or not you'd actually be doing any practicing.
Yeah. Well, the tan, I went away 2 weeks ago, so the tan is from Rhodes.
Okay.
I only got here. What day is it today? Tuesday. I got here yesterday. Yesterday I got here.
Oh.
But yeah, it wasn't a great day at the office, if I'm being honest. You are right. Strickland is probably the greatest pool player of all time, and 9-1 is something to be ashamed of. But I had lots of chances. I didn't play well. I've been lucky enough to be invited here. I played in the UK and I played in the US Open, and all the other tournaments when I played, I held a good account of myself. I played well.
Yeah.
Even though I lost, I played well. It's just a scrappy match. Every time he broke, he didn't put a ball, and all the balls sort of glued onto each other. It wasn't a pretty rack to look at, and it was just one of those days we go. Ugh. But I got a rack, and I'm really pleased about that.
Yeah.
But I would have lost today because he's a much better player, but I could have maybe won 2 or 3 more.
Andy, myself and Natalie, we had it on, mate. We were supporting you and being so positive about the way you were playing, and we got so many messages that are saying, "Jack of all trades, master of none." What have you got to say to the fans, mate?
I'm just amazed you can read, Gabby.
He's in pictures, mate.
So firstly, well done on that. Oh, fine, okay. I know you're telling fibs, Gabby. I know that deep down you and Natalie and all our listeners, more listeners than any other talkSPORT show, wanted me to win. So, but they will all 1.2 million of them will be pleased to know that I'll be back tomorrow. This is genuine. Because the great thing about this format is every single player has 2 opportunities to progress because you've got to travel from far and wide to be here or in Atlantic City or wherever, UK. You get 2 chances. So although I lost today, tomorrow I play another loser, and the winner of that goes back into the competition. And today's loser didn't play a great player and lost 9-1. So there's every chance I could get my first ever win ever and a professional world ranking tomorrow. From 4 o'clock live on talkSPORT. There's every chance it could happen tomorrow.
So if you win this one, you go back into the main tournament?
How does that work? You win the Losers' Cup and you go into the main tournament?
I tell you it works, Gabby. You get a huge amount of money and you stick it in an envelope and you give it to the head of match. I'm joking, she's standing there. That's just the format. The format, that's a beautiful thing, the format. So every single loser goes into another side of the draw, and then that spits out effectively some winners later on in the tournament, so you get another. It's hard. I don't know what the numbers are. She's there, so she'll shout the answer to me.
Yeah.
But if you're going to win this tournament from your first round match and kept winning, it's something like 6 games or 8 games you play. But if you lose your first, you get back in. It's something like 12 or 14 games. So it's much harder to win the tournament if you lose your first round match. But I'm still in it. I'm still in the competition. And tomorrow, personally for me, I used to play this game as a kid. Even to be here, all jokes aside, is unbelievable. I'm very lucky. Yeah. A bit like when people say you used to play football, Gab. I know it's hard to believe, but the opportunity for me tomorrow to actually get a win on the professional tour would just be like a dream come true. It'd be mind blowing. It's a big game tomorrow.
Andy, we've been getting a lot of messages about your appearance in the Florida Open today. Lots of them saying you're the Jake Paul of pool. You think that's fair or a bit harsh, mate?
Is that because they've been looking at my bank account?
Exactly.
The Jake Paul of...
We did all wonder where the talkSPORT money's gone.
Probably... I think you're sitting in that answer. I think that's a compliment, right? Because Jake Paul is he thinks he's going to be world champion one day. I don't think that either he or I will be world champion one day, but we're both in it. You've got to be in it to win it. Maybe this is a good lesson for kids out there that are listening to talkSPORT or watching it on YouTube and are thinking, I want to be someone. I want to, if I can, be like a Jake Paul, be like an Andy Goldstein. And today they've seen why they should be more like a Jake Paul than Andy Goldstein.
When I grow up, Mum, I want to be like Andy Goldstein. I'd love it.
Right. I bet more people wanting grow up be like Andy Goldstein than Gabby Agbonlahor. Even Gabby's family don't want to be Gabby Agbonlahor.
Andy, can I ask you one question though? Because we were watching, and the rack that you won, I don't like the rules, to be honest, because you didn't pot a ball and then you pot the last ball and you win. How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, when you say you don't like that, it's something to do with me. You know, I just turn up and play. I don't sit down and go, right, how can I win a rack? It's all about potting a 9-ball, Gabby. It's all about potting it. It's like saying, you know, I watched you play football the other day and I saw you score a goal, but the ball just fell to your feet and the goalkeeper was on the I mean, they're just rules, Gab. It's all about potting a 9-ball, right? See, there's 9 balls. It's very simple. 9 balls on the table, number 1 to 9, and you've got to pot them in order, 1, 2, 3. But if you hit the 3, if 1 and 2 have gone, you hit the 3, it's the 9, you've won. It's all about potting the 9.
There you go. See that clip? Well, go on. You're looking puzzled at me now.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? You've got. Why have you got? I heard you say in a talk up to news you got Steve Davis on. Why is that? What's Steve coming on for?
Well, obviously he's going to talk about you probably as well. But he's DJing now, isn't he? So he's going to tell us all about life as a DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Andy, I think it's because you're so.
Get him to remind.
Andy, it's because you're so famous and you're so fantastic. Everyone wants to come on your show and speak to you.
Yeah, well, Gab, listen, same can be said for you, right? You're desperate to stay on the show, but you can't because Bentley's back next week. So the dream team return.
Let me check in.
I think Gabby, you're back with Paul Ross next week. Can I ask though? I ask Natalie?
Go on.
Ask Steve Davis to tell all our listening millions and clear up the saga as to why I have an MBE and Steve doesn't. If you can get him to announce that, because it's his that I have. And he will confirm this on air. So ask Steve.
Okay. All right, we'll get that clarified. Just quickly, are you going to be spending the rest of the day practising ahead of tomorrow's match?
I've got a little bit of practice coming up, but it's difficult because I've got to squeeze in Magic Kingdom, Universal, Epcot, and what are the other ones? Animal Kingdom, SeaWorld. I'm going to do a bit more practicing today, and then myself and Ryan Bryan, we're going to go outlet shopping. Gabby's seen a few Fred Perry numbers that he wants me to bring back for him, so I'm going to do that for Gabby. He texted me actually this morning, his size extra large, which they do over in America, so I'll be getting them for him.
What did I message this morning?
Tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
What did I actually message you?
No, I couldn't. It's a load of gibberish.
I didn't say good luck.
You actually messaged me. Is there any way you can get rid of Bentley? Because I really want that.
I messaged this clown, right, saying good luck. That means a lot, surely, Andy.
You did. You did message that to me, and I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. Do you message the same to Jamie O'Hara when he's putting in a new parking post or not?
What, when he's tagging his golf clubs, try and get free golf clubs?
I saw Jamie O'Hara on Instagram. He's driving a white van, and I thought, blimey, things are hard for that man, aren't they? God dear.
Well, listen, we've taken up a lot of your time. Best of luck for tomorrow.
Thank you, Andy.
We'll be tuned in.
Good luck, my friend.
4 o'clock tomorrow.
4 o'clock.
Tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
And who are you
could
playing?
Be the one. All it is for me. I don't know his name yet, but
okay.
all it for me, genuinely, all it's about is trying to get a win on this professional tour. It could happen tomorrow at 4, and it'll be live on talkSPORT.
Brilliant. We look forward to it. We'll be tuned in for sure. It'll be live on talkSPORT's YouTube channel, as well as us keeping you right up to date here on Drive.
Can't stand him. Horrible fella.
Tell you what, he's got work to do, isn't he? Tomorrow after today's shambles.
So you should be. Horrendous performance.
Didn't do himself any justice, as he says. But it was a tricky one with Earl the Pearl. But hopefully it can come good tomorrow at least.
Yes.
Right. There's still lots more to come on talkSPORT Drive for you this afternoon. We will be bringing you the best of talkSPORT shortly. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor. And still to come, we're going to be joined by the 6-time snooker world champion turned DJ, Steve Davis. But just quickly, Manchester United have made a bid for RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Šeško, which could eventually rise to €73.8 million. Brazil winger Rodrigo wants to stay at Real Madrid amid interest from Tottenham, Arsenal and Liverpool. And next Saturday, DAZN brings you 5 huge fights in one night. The unbeaten rising star Moses Atoma takes on the proven and dangerous Dillian White in a heavyweight showdown. Plus, there's action from Nick Ball, Raymond Ford, Filip Hrgović. Don't miss next Saturday, August the 16th, which you can watch only on DAZN.
Boxing update on talkSPORT with DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy now at dazn.com/boxing.
All right, now it's time for a little bit of this. Yeah, this is the moment where we look back on the best bits of talkSPORT, where we run you through some of the recent highlights and moments from across talkSPORT as well as our sister stations. So let's kick things off, Gabby. You're right there.
Sorry.
Moving on to your
I'm
mark.
meant to be in the middle of the...
Oh, you're very...
I mean, I'm just trying to get too close to you, Natalie. I've got to stay in my position.
Not my magnetism
Exactly.
drawing
That's
you.
it, that's it.
Yeah, you're getting away,
Thank
I
you.
get you. Let's kick things off with this afternoon's 1 till 4 show, where Paul Hawksby and Andy Townsend were joined by the nature explorer Steve Backshall, where he described a close encounter he had with a silverback gorilla.
I have had one who came up and, as an expression of dominance, sprinted straight at me and swung a massive left hook, which caught me right in the family jewels. So there is footage out there, and we actually showed it in the show of me getting cuffed in the ghoulies by a gorilla.
Wow! And did you take standing count, Steve, on that one? I'm sure you did.
I was down and out.
Wow.
I mean,
no words.
I know. Isn't it funny? This is the one thing I have no idea what that would be like.
Oh, I've had a football and like booted in a game and stuff on accident, and I'm down. You know, when it happens to a player, they're down, and the refs like take as long as you want. There's no rush.
Okay.
5-10 minutes before you want to get back up, it's no problem. It's so painful. Wow.
I love that, like mutual sympathy.
Yeah. That male sympathy.
Goodness me. Yeah. Could you imagine facing a silverback gorilla? I don't think so. Any other wild animal that freaks you out?
I don't want to say sometimes because I feel like someone might tell to talk with one outside.
Like a lion?
Snakes.
Oh, you're not alone. A lot of people don't
like snakes. If I saw a snake, I think I'd jump from anywhere.
Really?
But yeah, really like...
So if there was a snake in here, you wouldn't be, don't worry, I'll get it. You'll be running away.
I'm throwing you in front of the snake.
I was going to say, I'm being ditched.
Natalie, that'll fill the snake up. Go on, Natalie, you enjoy.
Remember, Paul's going to be back from 1 tomorrow afternoon, where he'll be joined alongside Alex Brooker.
Over to last night's sports bar, where Jason Cundy was joined by Jermaine Pennant. Here's Jermaine trying to guess the footballer Terry Butcher in a late night quiz.
She used to sing. She had long dark hair.
Cher.
Yeah. And then put in front of that, it's another word for your bum.
Buttocks.
Yeah, the first bit.
Butt.
Yeah. What you got?
I've got Cher but Tony.
Right.
Cher but Tony.
No. So Tony's the first. Terrible, mate. It's not even Tony.
Wow, that is the worst ever, Cundy. What do you make of Cundy's clues?
I mean, I have heard the notorious clues of Jason Cundy. They're appalling. Nobody gets them. I don't know where his mind goes when he's thinking of those.
But the first bit. What is the one quiz show, Natalie, you'd love to appear on?
Oh, Richard Osman's House of Games. I think that looks so much fun because there's all different quizzes within it.
What about catchphrase? The old school ones, catchphrase.
Yeah, I don't like the new version of catchphrase because I'm like, they're not catchphrases.
The old one was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which presenter at talkSPORT would you pick as your quiz partner? Don't say me.
Somehow I wasn't thinking of you. Do you know what? Cass is pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah, I can imagine.
That would be a good one. I would have
Experience.
Or Jeff. I think Jeff would know a lot too.
Alan's quite...
Okay.
He knows a lot.
All right. I wasn't dismissing Alan, but okay.
He'll come out with some statements of like back in 1920s.
So you'd go with Alan?
I'd go with Ali.
Ali.
He knows a lot.
Yeah. All right.
If for some reason you enjoyed that, you can get your calls into Jason Cundy and Dean Saunders on the sports bar tonight from 10. Wow, them two.
That'll be entertaining. I'm sure of that.
Carnage.
It's just a question of who's going to say more words because they're very chatty. Let's finish with a clip from the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel, shall we? Yesterday we saw that incredible finish in the Test series between England and India. But here's a lighter moment from the End of the Day podcast with John Norman and Neil Manthorpe.
Dropped a couple of catches, has failed in the last couple of Test matches, has been booted out of the slip. Whoa!
And there.
Well, that's an outtake.
There's the clip. That's us sorted.
Shall we finish?
1 million views.
Collapsed. All right.
Did you see? I try. Is it still? Are we still in frame?
So whatever they were standing on or whatever they were leaning on collapsed and gave way if you weren't watching that with us. But they cope with that pretty well, considering.
Happens, doesn't it? Happens to us all.
I do remember many, many years ago when I was working at Sky and Nick Collins, our then England correspondent, was outside Wembley and he had a little platform that he was standing on and that gave way.
Joking.
I mean, I laughed.
I laugh at anything like that.
I know.
I find
sometimes
it
awkward moments make you laugh.
People fall over, I'll laugh. I'll help them up and then laugh on the sly. 100%.
I'm in the studio laughing, and Jim White, bless him, very serious. Well, we hope he's all right. I'm just like, I'm creasing up. But he was, thankfully, he was fine. Ever been involved in something embarrassing like that?
Not like that, but just little things. There was one time where I was literally at a roundabout with my 2 kids in a car. It's like 10 years ago. And a lorry went past, topped my front mirror off.
Ooh.
And they were laughing their heads off. I was on the school run, right, and I was like, what are you laughing at? They couldn't stop laughing. Anything bad happens to me, my kids love. They love laughing at me.
Well,
Little S's.
As long as you can laugh along with them as well.
I wasn't laughing.
No, I suppose not, because that comes at a cost to you.
Yes.
For live commentaries, interviews and podcasts, make sure you subscribe to the talkSPORT Cricket YouTube channel and, of course, make sure you have the talkSPORT app where you can swipe between talkSPORT, talkSPORT 2 and all of our other sister stations so you never miss a moment. Steve Davis, legendary snooker player, joins us next.
how did it all come crashing down for Wales so suddenly? In his first tenure in charge, Warren Gatland built a dynasty, taking young guns and turning them into giants, not just for Wales, but for the Lions as well. 4 Six Nations titles, 3 of them Grand Slams, and in 2019, a world #1 ranking. But then, a record drop-off, golden generation all but gone, a first wooden spoon for 21 years and 14 losses on the bounce. Why? Perhaps the main reason was poor spending. During Gatland's first tenure, the WRU committed its funds to world-leading training facilities for the national side, but underinvested in the club scene. Despite Ireland raking in similar overall revenues, its union would be committing up to £30 million a year more than Wales to their provincial clubs. In 2023, a report found the WRU had flitted away an £84 million TV deal on the purchase of a Cardiff hotel and a zip wire above the Principality. At the same time, the regional budgets and salary caps were being slashed, and they're still being cut. Add this to a distinct lack of player pathways when compared to the private school-fueled setups in Ireland, Scotland and England, the continuous rise of football's popularity and generational talents going elsewhere. It all meant when Abby Tierney became CEO, having never worked in sport before, she had a mountain to climb. And yet the beauty of sport, of course, is it isn't played in the boardroom, and sometimes it takes surprisingly little for the narrative to shift almost overnight. When Gatland left for the second time, interim coach Matt Sherratt only had 3 training sessions before Wales' next game, but the team looked unrecognisable, and all he did was pick players in the right positions and provide a bit of attacking structure. Suddenly, Wales were back pushing Ireland to the wire. As Gatland's first tenure taught us, for Wales' success to be sustainable, once the books are balanced, the regions need more money, salary caps need boosting, player pathways need investment. But it doesn't have to mean Wales lose every game in the meantime.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie Sawyer, and Gabby Agbonlahor as well. Still to come, we're going to be hearing from Shuffle Wednesday captain Barry Bannon discussing the future of the club. But the Championship does return this weekend on the talkSPORT network, and here's who our EFL pundits predict are going to win the title.
Hello there, I'm Ian Danter, talkSPORT EFL commentator. So my Championship winner for the season has to be Ipswich Town. I know it's a fairly straightforward thing to say that a relegated side's got a good chance of going straight back up. But in Ipswich's case, a lot of that squad that won promotion from the Championship is still there, plus some real quality that's been added.
Smollings hits it through the legs of Edison, and it's in! What a start for Ipswich Town!
My pick for Championship winners at Ipswich Town. The manager, Kieran McKenna, is outstanding. Just can't see them failing to bounce back at the first attempt.
Right, prediction times. And first I'm going to start with my Championship winners, and that will be my former club, Ipswich Town. I know they struggled a little bit last season. I just feel they could have a great season and bounce back immediately to the Premier League.
And there it goes! Ipswich Town are back in the Premier League!
My Championship winners are Sheffield United. I think Ruben Selles coming through the door as manager. Very, very clear identity. Fantastic football philosophy as well.
Goes right to Harmer into the penalty area, shooting and scoring. A
lightning break from Sheffield United.
And I just feel that the new manager coming in, that hangover of missing out in the playoffs, they go a step further this season.
All right then, so Ian Danter, Adrian Clark, Darren Ambrose all predicting an Ipswich win, whereas Chris Iwelumo's gone for Sheffield United. The Championship then is back this week, and as always, talkSPORT is your home of the EFL. It all gets going on Friday night right here on talkSPORT when newly promoted Birmingham face Ipswich. That's at 8. Then on Saturday at 12:30, Southampton host Wrexham here on talkSPORT once more before Adrian Durham takes you around the grounds with all the goals as they go in, up and down the land. And there are 4 more exclusive Championship commentaries over on talkSPORT 2 across the weekend. The easiest way to stay across it all is to download the talkSPORT app and head to our live games tab so you do not miss a minute. It's going to be exciting. Now let's turn our attention to the world of snooker, because 6-time world champion Steve Davis is set to take on his old rival Jimmy White yet again, but not on a snooker table. This time it's on the DJ decks. They're going to be head-to-head at the Rock and Roll Circus Festival in Sheffield on Saturday the 30th of August. And I'm pleased to say, joining us to talk a little bit about this event and more as well, it's snooker legend Steve Davis. How you doing, Steve?
Good evening, Steve.
Hello, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Loud and clear.
Oh, wonderful. Then you must have heard all of the rubbish before I've been talking while I was wondering whether we were connected or not.
No, we didn't. You're all good. You're all good. We've only just heard you now.
We're just audio, no visual, because otherwise I'll go and have a shave.
No, we can see you as well. You're looking great. Don't you worry.
Yes.
Come on then, Steve. Tell us about this event that you're doing, the Rock and Roll Circus Festival.
Well, it's a little bit of a shock, to be quite honest. Over all the years of playing Jimmy White, if anybody had thought that one day Jimmy and I would be apparently going head DJing, I think that would have been too much of a leap of faith. Obviously, Jimmy back in the day was more of a party animal than me, apparently. So you would think that possibly he was going to be, au fait with what was going on. But in recent years, I've had slightly more experience of DJing than Jim. So I don't know what Jimmy's going to play. Obviously, he's very good friends with Ronnie Wolf and the Rolling Stones. Maybe he's going to play a Stones set and I'm just going to go techno.
Well, that's very different.
Who knows?
I mean, how's this all started for you, Steve? I can see loads of records behind you.
Oh, yeah, yes. Well, my big hobby other than playing snooker back in the day was record collecting and music, but never the two met really until the doors closed on my snooker career as I found that my arm wasn't doing what I wanted. Previously, it had done okay. And I decided to sort of hang my cue up. And at that time, I was doing a radio show. And then we started to be asked to do some DJing. And I thought, why not say yes, just to sort of know what it's like? And it's got out of hand. We've DJ'd, me and my friend Carver Sarabi have DJ'd at Glastonbury a number of times. And then we got asked to DJ at Wembley when Blur were doing their comeback gigs, which was just a bit of a shock to the mind. But then out of the blue, because I am now officially a DJ, when the phone rings, you go, yeah, okay, we'll try this. So Rock and Roll Circus in Sheffield, which is going to be a fun event, by the way. Yeah, I think it's a family fun event. So nothing, the music is going to be good fun. Phoned me up and said, yeah, I'd love to do it. My partner, Carver Starabi, couldn't do it. So I was going to do it on my own. The next minute, I find out Jimmy's going to be DJ. I haven't got a clue what's going to happen.
Steve, White got the better of you, didn't he, in your final meeting at the snooker table on the 2010 World Senior Championships? Did you think 15 years later would be your chance for revenge?
Well, it's nice to see you've been on Wikipedia to know that. Yes, towards the end of Jimmy's career, he started playing great stuff. And he if he'd have played as well in the 80s as he did in the 90s, I'd have struggled badly. But it's being billed as a head-to-head. I think really what we have to do is hold hands and try and get through it without being booed off, which is what happened at the Crucible, because at the time we were cutting edge. We are obviously well down on the bill. I don't even think we're going to get a rider. I don't think
come on.
There's going to be no brown or green M&Ms for anybody. from London, the cheeky chappie and a Cockney lad, turning up in Bristol. Sorry, not in Bristol, in Sheffield, DJing in front of. Obviously, there's going to be millions of people there to understand what is actually going to happen. So, what music are we going to play? What music is Jimmy White going to turn up with? What's in his head?
Hang on. So you're not even like conspiring with Jimmy. This is just you're going to turn up on the day, and however it plays out, it plays out.
No, I refuse to sort of like. So I'm a little bit of a music snob. I can't help it. I can't deal with rubbish music. I very rarely like any pop music, but I've got my favourites. And if Jimmy plays some rubbish, I'm just going to ignore him and play what I was going to play anyway. I don't know if we're going one track for one track. It might not mix. If possibly, I could sort of get somebody with a hook to drag Jimmy off and I had the full hour or half an hour. I'd possibly play somebody because being a music fan, I feel like I'm going to play better music than Jimmy. And I'm not trying to sort of lay the gauntlet down. But if he plays a better track than I'm going to play, then it's got to be the fact that the public have no taste. That's going to pan out. How do you think it's going to pan out? They're going to be on Jim's side. He's a newcomer to it. I'm an old hand. I'm supposed to be good.
It's all about the music you play, Steve. You know that.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. Well, I'm tempted to play a basic channel 13-minute dub techno track by Cyrus. I have thought about Talk Life Was What You Make It as a sort of compromise, but I think I might even play some floating points from his early years. I don't know yet.
I mean, I'll be honest.
I'm looking forward to it.
It's brilliant, but a lot of what you just said there, I haven't a clue about. It's not my kind of genre. I'll be honest.
I'm gonna wait and see if Jimmy turns up, or he's gonna do a runner at the last minute.
I tell you what, though, on the advert for it, on the billing, you're quite high up on the billing.
I know. Well, I think that was Jimmy stipulating that. I was pleased to be down the bottom because we don't do well. Me and I sometimes don't do well if there's a lot of glitter at the festival. I find that the more glitter at a festival, the worse the music is accepted from what I do.
Oh, I see.
So I'm not saying it's chin strokey, but glitter means glitter's dodgy.
Okay.
You know,
Glitter's dodgy.
People have come for the glitter, not for the music.
Yes. Okay.
No.
Yeah. They're there for the scene. Not necessarily the music. I know what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. But we should say, look, Reverend and the Makers are performing. There's also Groove Armada. So you've got some great, you know.
They're going to regret having us as a support.
They're not. Yeah, listen, hopefully you're going to have a rider as well. While we've got you on, we should talk about Andy, shouldn't we?
Oh, we should, yeah.
How's he doing? Has he won a frame yet?
Well, he won one, but was hammered 9-1 by Earl Strickland.
Well, Earl's a player. Oh, he played Earl, did he? Oh,
yes.
Well, when Barry Hearn told me he was going to do this, and then Andy obviously followed along, it's great fun. Why not follow a passion? Because obviously Andy is a great player, and he has all of my titles. I don't know if you're aware of this.
Yeah, he did ask us to ask you about the MBE and how this all came about.
Well, so Andy and I, a number of years ago, had a game of pool in Victoria area, a great pool club that was there. And I stupidly thought that there was no way he was going to beat me and sort of offered up my 6 world titles and MBE in the equivalent of a game of conkers. So whoever won then took all of the rewards of the other person. And he didn't fluke it. He's a good player, Andy. It's tough playing at competitive level, especially against the likes of Earl Strickland. But in a club, bit of fun. Andy can play a bit. And he won my 6 world titles and MBE. But we haven't played since I became an OBE.
Oh, you're not going to... You don't want to put that on the line as well.
He hasn't got that, and I'm not too sure I want to play him. But I would like my titles back.
He didn't look great today, though. He didn't. He played very poorly.
He's upset with his standard, is that right?
Yes, very poor today.
Have you been watching it? Have we been watching it?
We were across it. I mean, it didn't take long, as you can imagine. 9-1. It didn't take long for the Pearl to win that one. He does go through to a lucky loser sort of round, so he's still got another chance to get back into the main tournament.
Repechage, is he?
Yeah, something like that. Exactly that. So what advice would you give him then, Steve, if he was listening?
Okay, well, it's the same advice I gave to Barry Hearn, is that under pressure, you're likely to snatch a bit of the shots. And the only way to really make sure you complete the shot is to keep your head still and just think about keeping your head still. Let the rest take care of itself. But if you can keep your head still, you've got half a chance of staying on the line of the shot. It's easier said than done. Barry Hearn was jumping around all over the place. I'm not sure about Andy, but I'm sure he's at another level of play. But even so, keeping as still as possible on the shot can't be a bad idea.
I like that.
Great advice. Nice and simple advice.
Yeah.
What you need.
But advice you wouldn't think about.
Exactly.
I like that,
Well,
Steve.
you should think about it.
Well, I know now. That's where I've all gone wrong. That's where it went wrong.
You did.
Listen, Steve, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much. Looking forward to it.
Enjoy the rock and roll circus. Best of luck against Jimmy.
What can we do?
You can only do your best.
Cheers.
Thank you.
That's Steve Davis, legend that is Steve Davis.
It'll be chaotic.
Keep your head still, Steve, when it comes to that battle with Jimmy. I think that's the message to impart today. Right. That was great, though. Like listening into just Steve.
A character.
Yeah, very much so. And who knew he was a DJ now? Fabulous. Right, on the way next, we are going to hear from the Sheffield Wednesday captain, Barry Bannon, as he joined talkSPORT Breakfast this morning. He's going to give us the very latest on what's happening at his club, Sheffield Wednesday. You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie, Sawyer and Gabby Agbonlahor. talkSPORT is now available in more places than ever before, and you can now watch us via your smart TV. Just head to talkSPORT/watch for all the details and how you can catch all your favourite shows and presenters, plus some of our brand new content as well. Still to come, we'll be hearing some of Gabby's chat with Crystal Palace midfielder Adam Wharton. But before that, Liverpool won both their games against Athletic Bilbao at Anfield last night, with new signing Hugo Ekitike among the standout performers. Rangers boss Russell Martin has said that the criticism of his players following their draw against Motherwell over the weekend came from a place of love. And Sheffield Wednesday captain Barry Bannan joined the breakfast show this morning amid uncertainty about the club's financial future. Sheffield Wednesday have endured a chaotic summer with wages delayed in May, June and July, and they remain under a number of registration embargoes. The club have also missed payments to HMRC and face rising debts with just 15 first-team squad members. But Bannan told Jeff Stelling and Alan Pardew today that it's the club's staff that the players are most worried about.
It was starting to go a bit quiet and getting kind of forgot about, and it's not forgot about here because, like you said, staff members who can't pay mortgages are really struggling. Players, families, but the players are all right. It's the staff that we're having to go in and look at every day who are cooking his meals and cleaners and the little things like that really affect us as players because nothing's help. They're not getting any help, and they're really struggling. So that's why we're at the top of the ladder, and it was a strong stance from us to say basically it needs to stop and we need a bit of clarity going forward.
Do you know, fair play to Barry Bannan for talking about the fact that there are so many more that are affected by this.
Of course.
And you know, when a club goes into administration, the players always get paid. That's the minimum. But it's the staff that don't. The ones that maybe have worked there for years and years and years, that have put their heart and soul into that club, they're the ones that don't get anything out of even an administration situation. I mean, it's such a worrying time for Sheffield Wednesday right now and all those involved.
I think, like Barry says there, I know Barry was at Villa with him. He's coming through the reserves into the first team when I was senior player. But there's so many staff that you don't realise that a club. You've got the cooks, you've got the cleaners, you've got the kit men, the kit woman, whoever is doing that. And they've all got bills. Mm-hmm. They've all got standing orders, direct debits that are coming out, you know, not earning money like players who will be okay if you miss out on 2, 3, 4 months' wages. Like, there's got to be something in place that they're protected as well, because, say now your mortgage lender isn't going to, oh, you're not being paid. There's no sympathy. You're getting fines and you're getting bad credit because you're not paying your bills. So I think it's disgusting, and I like that. And I feel that as a club, and if I was there at Sheffield Wednesday, I think the players would come together and start helping the staff out your own pocket because it's not fair on them.
I mean, they have lost a lot of players who rightfully have been able to exit their contracts because of what's happening at the club. Barry Bannan, though, I saw the announcement where he said he was staying because he's been now at the club, 10 years? It's quite incredible.
It's his club.
Yeah.
You know, he's captain, his family, his kids are Sheffield Wednesday fans. He's got 2 kids, lovely kids, Sheffield Wednesday fans. So he wants to stay there during the tough times. Remember when Rangers went down the leagues? I'm sure there would have been a few players that stayed there as well then. And he probably knows, Barry, that hopefully this gets sorted out and the fans will remember the players that stuck with it when it wasn't going smooth, and maybe the contract that he's on now is on what he would have been on in previous years. But he's stuck with the club that he loves. It's
interesting what you say about his family, because I think, again, part of his announcement picture that I saw on Instagram or social media, wherever it was, he said one of his children was crying when the possibility of having to move away from Sheffield and him leaving Sheffield Wednesday, because, as you say, they've become Sheffield Wednesday fans as well. But, I mean, in a way, those players that have stuck around, brilliant, credit to them, but you can't equally blame those that have left. They've got their careers and futures.
I think it's different for Baz, his age, where he is now in his career, and he's been there for so long, and he's the captain. I think it's different for him. But some of the other players, I mean, Windass is probably thinking, what's going on at Wrexham? And I've got a chance of going there, and this club's messing around, not getting paid. like, it's a no-brainer for players to leave. And if legally you're allowed to go because of what's going on, I don't blame. A lot of players will do exactly the same.
Yeah, Barry Bannon, 35. When you mentioned you played with him at Aston Villa, did you see this sort of leadership role in him that he's got? He's clearly a figurehead. You know, he speaks so brilliantly about everything.
All I seen was an angry Scotsman, to be honest, that I used to wind up and kick in training every day. Yeah, and wind him up.
It's not very nice.
But top player. I knew he'd definitely have a long career in the game because technically, you know, like that left foot, like I said about Shirky earlier, like a wand. And he's had a fantastic career. And his last years of playing, however many years he's got left, he probably wants to stay with the club that he loves. And he's been there over a decade, and the fans remember that. He'll go down as one of their biggest club legends.
Yeah, without a doubt. And as I say, 35. Does it sort of surprise you how players are going so late with their careers now?
It's okay, midfield, isn't it? You just got to get it and pass it.
He's meant to be, should be regressing now even further.
No, definitely. I think the sport's science now, and players look after themselves more. You know, Barry Bannon in the last 10 years will looked after himself more than maybe his first 5 or 6 years. And he probably owned up to that himself. And now you don't see players out, Natalie. I mean, when I was playing, you go to a club on a Tuesday night and it was like watching Match of the Day. You know what I mean? Everyone was out. It's like, you all right, mate? Who you got on the weekend? Who you got? Oh, good game Saturday. What are you doing out on Tuesday? Because you're always off on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Every player.
That's
if you
true,
play Sundays, you're off on a Thursday. So you go out on a Wednesday night, then you'll be out on a Saturday night or the Sunday night. So players, you don't hear about them being out in nightclubs now. And I think in general, that generation of going out to nightclubs has died down anyway. If you look at teenagers, they don't really go out as much and drink. So that's why I could imagine they're playing longer.
Yeah. We've had a message in that says there are so many clubs in this state. Hull are under the same transfer embargoes and are on a huge debt as well. More needs to be done to protect clubs with their overspending, and that's exactly right. And that's why there's talk of this football regulator to come in and ensure that the right owners are in charge of clubs going forward. But that's also part of the problem. And I'm sure this Hull owner, when he first came in, had all the right credentials, everything was fine. But when you then gamble and you spend a lot of money in the hope you can go up as soon as possible, and it doesn't work out, that's where a lot of these clubs then find themselves. Hull, Sheffield Wednesday did it. For a number of years, they were in championship playoff positions.
Well, even Aston Villa, we had an absolute crook of an owner who didn't have the money he made out he did.
Yes.
And if it wasn't for these new owners that come in with the funds to buy Aston Villa, I'd hate to think where...
Well, you were close to teaching,
100%, because he'd backed on us to get promoted that season. We lost in the final. And because we didn't, it was like, he hasn't really got the money that he claims. So there's got to be a lot more done to check out these owners of clubs. Look at Reading as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, it's going to continue to happen if it's so easy for these people to own football clubs.
Yeah, although there is a light at the end of the tunnel for Reading in the sense of they do have a new owner now, which is good, certainly. We're going to be hearing some of Gabby's chat with the Crystal Palace midfielder Adam Wharton still to come here on talkSPORT Drive. But before that, it's time for No Googling. Yeah, it's the latest one of the show, and we were joined not that long ago by the snooker legend that is Steve Davis. So we want to know, what is the world record for the fastest ever 147 break?
Zero idea.
Great. Glad to know you're taking it seriously. So what is the world record for the fastest ever 147 break in snooker? Let us know. You've got a few minutes, and then we're back, as I say, with a little bit of the snippet of Gabby's chat with Adam Wharton.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
You're listening to Drive on talkSPORT with me, Natalie, Sawyer and Gabby Agbonlahor. Still to come, we're going to be hearing some of Gabby's chat with Crystal Palace midfielder Adam Wharton. But first, earlier, we were joined by the snooker legend that is Steve Davis. And for our final no Googling of the evening, we asked, what is the world record for the fastest ever 147 break? Do you want to have a guess what you think the fastest might be?
No, because they'll clip it up then and use it for like the next year. No, I'm not. I'm going to pass.
You were about to say something that might have been okay.
No.
All right.
Okay, 5 minutes, 8 seconds.
Well, who told him that?
As a guess.
You're lying. I can see Joe, the producer.
That's a guess.
I don't believe you 1 second.
Am I close?
You might be. Just to quickly say, we've had a few people guessing. Ash, the Newcastle fan's gone for 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Ronnie O'Sullivan with that. The Chunk Chaser, Dave, the Liverpool fan, says 5 minutes, 47 seconds. I don't know if I should have read out that name. DJ Chimpy's also been in touch to say 5:20 by the Rocket. And our beloved Tony Cascarino has messaged me, listening in, saying with no Googling, he's gone for 5 minutes, 40-odd seconds. The answer we were looking for, miraculously out of nowhere, of all the figures that you could have pulled, you got the right answer. 5 minutes and 8 seconds,
wow.
Gabby. How did you do it?
What can I say? I played a lot of snooker over the years. Thank you guys. Thank you very much.
A nice polite ripple of applause.
You see that Goldstein? Some of us can do something right in life.
I said, I mean, it's no Googling, but doesn't mean your producer can't tell you something in your ear.
I did have my headphones in.
Did you not? Oh, right. Okay.
No,
there
I
we
did
go.
not.
Yeah, so Ronnie O'Sullivan set that record against Mick Price at the 1997 World Championship. Right. Let's turn our attention, shall we, to our very own Gabby Agbonlahor, who this afternoon spent a little bit of time speaking to the Crystal Palace midfielder Adam Wharton. Their wide-ranging chat covered winning the FA Cup, how excited he is for European football at Selhurst Park, as well as looking ahead to the Community Shield against Liverpool, live on talkSPORT. Is it this weekend?
Yes, it is. Sunday.
Yes, it is this weekend.
Yeah,
You're right.
week before the season starts.
That's right. All my days are all over the place. There we go.
Brentford never in it, that's why.
I mean, really? Really? It took you until now?
Sorry.
That dig.
Sorry. I'll have loads of them next season, by the way.
Thank
The way your team's going. Sorry, carry on.
What? Oh, it's just getting worse. You'll be able to hear the whole interview on tomorrow's Drive show, but we can hear a little snippet now where Gabby asks Adam about his aims for the upcoming season.
Our season last year was a bit stop-start with injury. So for Palace, I want to stay as fit as possible, play as many games as I can, because obviously we'll have a lot of games this year, hopefully. And yeah, just try and help the team as much as possible and do even better than we did last year. And then, yeah, I mean, I think every player that's English in the Premier League wants to, be picked to go to America from the end of the season. So, yeah, I don't really set too many goals personally. I just take it game by game, trying to improve. And, I can feel within myself if I'm doing well or I can be doing better. But, yeah, obviously, when the time comes, and, yeah, obviously you're hopeful that your name will be picked and you're on the plane.
Do you enjoy that little chat with him?
Yeah, I didn't hear my voice. I was waiting for my own voice. I'm joking. No, listen, he seems like a lovely lad. We had a little bit of banter as well about Aston Villa because they like to give us a good hiding.
The name's Bond, James Bond.
But he seems like a nice kid. Like
Yeah.
some players, you've got that feeling about them. And he's a special player, and I really hope he has a very good season because he's got a chance of making the plane to the World Cup for sure.
Yeah, well, I remind you, you'll be able to hear that interview even with Palace midfielder Adam Wharton on tomorrow's Drive show. But as we heard, the hopes of making that World Cup squad high on the agenda for him, as well as a terrific season with Crystal Palace in Europe and much, much more too. We thought, though, it was only right for you to come up with your 11, perhaps, or maybe players more so, on who you think have to have a good season to be on that plane. I know earlier on you did your top 5 to look out for, but this is more about the England players.
Do you know what's funny though is because I've picked certain players, but every player needs to have a good season because even players like Harry Kane, if Harry Kane didn't have a good season, you're not going to be on the plane just because of what you've done in the past. Any player.
Do you think though?
Yeah, I think so.
If
Say if he went
get on the plane,
say if he spent like the season, he was like because Taddy had lost even a bit more pace and he wasn't at it.
But what would be a bad season for Harry Kane in terms of goals?
I'm talking if he didn't even get double figures of goals.
Right, okay.
And he had a really poor season. You're like, Delap's doing well.
Yeah.
Watkins is doing well. Solanke's at it. Another strikers broke through. So I think everyone's got to have a good season. But these players, for me, really need a good season after a poor season last season. I think one that stands out for me in defence is John Stones.
Okay.
I feel last season, he didn't play much football, a lot of injuries. And you look at that Man City defence, you've got Akanji, is it Kushinov they signed. You've got in there Aki as well, Ruben Diaz. They've got Gvardiol, now might play centre because they've got Aït-Nouri at left back. So he's got a lot of competition as well. So he's got to break back into that Man City side and get some good form under his belt because Gahey and Konsa, I feel like they're our starting centre-halves if you pick them today.
Okay. So John Stones has to have a big season. Just in general, though, when you've got the carrot of a World Cup.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think that's like for players?
That's like, okay, it's go time. That's why a lot of these players that need moves, Jack Grealish, can you get the right move?
Yeah.
Sancho, can you get the right move? Rashford, can you go and do it now at Barcelona? Can you make sure you're playing regular football? Talked about Gahey earlier. Does he want to go to Liverpool where maybe he's going to fight it out for a season with Kanate to play with Van Dijk?
All right, so John Stones has to have a big season.
Yes, I think Jack Grealish, we know that. He's got to go and find the club where he's going to play regular football, get back to playing his best. I know for a fact that Thomas Tuchel will definitely like him as a player, but you'll probably want to see him playing more football than he was last season. Marcus Rashford, definitely. If he can start on fire for Barcelona, enjoy playing with Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, get goals, I'm sure he'll be on that plane for sure. Playing at the highest level, Champions League as well.
He got called up, didn't he, in the last for England when he was at Aston Villa?
He did, yeah, he did get called up.
Did that surprise you? Did he earn that, really?
It did surprise me, but he showed to me that his attributes are something that the manager wants.
Right.
He wants that pace. He can score with either foot, playing off that left or the centre. And he just got to go and perform now for Barcelona, and you'll get that call up. Reece James, that right back position is still up for grabs. The manager will like him, had him at Chelsea. You've got Trent at Real Madrid, who I'm sure will have a good season. But Reece James, can you stay injury-free? Can you grab that spot from Gusto and say, I'm going to be Chelsea's number one right back and get a good spell of games without picking up another little calf strain, whatever it is he struggles with? Solanke, as a striker, can you put pressure on Ollie Watkins for that second spot if Harry Kane is England's number one striker? Maddison, we don't know what his injury is, but fingers crossed it's not a long-term injury. He really needs to start showing because he's a special player. But for some reason, Southgate wasn't sure about him. Thomas Tuchel hasn't picked him.
No.
Is there a sense that he has to do a lot more? I like him. He's in that 8 position, in that 10 position. He's got it all. James Maddison, free kicks, can score any sort of goal you would imagine. But something is missing where the England managers aren't looking at him.
Well, Morgan Gibbs-White, he got a call up.
Yeah, Morgan Gibbs-White.
In that similar position.
Yes.
So
Morgan Gibbs-White, the one you said earlier, Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
All these sort of players are fighting for spots
I like Elliot
Anderson.
And he's quite versatile when it comes to midfield positions as well.
So I like about him as well. He can score a goal. He can make a tackle. He's aggressive. He's quick when he's breaking through that midfield. And he's got that, he could have stayed at Newcastle. But you know what? PSR reasons maybe had to move. But you know what? I'm going to go to Nottingham Forest and become a regular starter, put other players on the bench. Liam Delap, that's one that stands out. Liam Delap, can you fight with Watkins for that second spot and Solanke and wherever all the strikers they are? But he's got to look at his chance now and say, Nicholas Jackson won't be part of it. Probably be sold in the transfer window. João Pedro looks very good in that centre-forward position with a Neto off the left and maybe a Palmer off the right. They've got Gittins as well. I'm sure they'll maybe sign Simmons. So I think Delap has to go and show why he deserves to be in the England squad. Champions League. Can you go and light up the Champions League for Chelsea? Can you push João Pedro off onto the left and say to the manager, I can't be dropped?
Who's England's left back currently, do you think?
I think Louis Skelly will be left back, and you got Lewis Hall. He done very well last season at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Our producer was talking about Luke Shaw, but he's 30 years of age now, injury prone, not the same player he used to be. Very tough for him to get back into it. Same with Ben Chilwell. Where's he going to be playing his football? Still at Chelsea, not part of the plans. He needs to go and get a move now, Ben Chilwell, where he's playing regular football, because Louis Skelly at the moment and Lewis Hall, number one left backs. Livramento, if he has a great season, could he break into being number one right back?
Well, there was talk, wasn't it, with the under-21s that Thomas Tuchel was looking out for Livramento and as a future senior player as well. Here's a name I want to throw at you.
Yep.
Partly because of his new club that he's at as well, but one that a lot of people aren't in favour of, and I understand people's reasons for it. But Jordan Henderson, how big a season does he have? Because he was called up.
What club's yet again?
Only the mighty bees.
But if he does have a good season and he shows that experience, then the manager's come out and said, Thomas Tuchel, that he wants him.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't surprise me if he does make that squad. He's got a big part to play. Norgard was fantastic, wasn't he? For your beloved Brentford. So he's got big shoes to fill, but he's got that experience. But the one that stands out the most, Phil Foden.
Oof. Yes.
He needs it the most. He struggled last season after his outstanding season 2 seasons ago, where he got 19 goals, 8 assists in 35 Premier League appearances. Last season, he got 7 goals and 2 assists.
Just lost a little bit
in 28 Premier League games. But after that season finished, he come out and said, didn't he, that it was too much football for him.
Well, yeah, Euros season.
Of course,
yeah.
after the Euros it was, but last season he wasn't at his best. He's got to come out flying. And like I said earlier, Shirky is going to be the player that he's got to try and get out of that Man City side. So Phil Foden, go out there and show why 2 seasons ago you got player of the season.
Yeah. Brilliant. All right. Some of the players to look out for then in this season coming, where you consider the World Cup as well in, the next summer, for a lot of these players to catch the eye of Thomas Tuchel.
Let's do the second half of the season.
Yeah, this is talkSPORT Drive.
Don't do it all in August or September.
Yeah, don't go mad. Listening to Drive on talkSPORT with Natalie Sawyer and Gabby Agbonlahor, and following us from 7 Not long then. Nick Bright hosts the Transfer Insiders this evening. He's got Dan Baldell alongside him. But now Rangers are in Champions League qualification action this evening. They host Victoria Pilsen in what is the first leg of their third qualifying round, kicking off at 7:45. Crikey, this one comes around quick after the Panathinaikos game. The all-important team news is in, and David Tanner is watching for talkSPORT and brings us all the details now. Good evening to you, David.
Good evening,
David.
Good evening, Gabby. There is some sensational team news from Rangers. You'll remember that Russell Martin was furious after his team threw away a lead to draw 1-1 with Motherwell at the weekend. He urged his players to drop their egos. He said as a team they were not hard enough to play against. Why? As some players moved into self-preservation mode. He didn't name names, who were the guilty men, but tonight we get some clues as 4 big names have been sensationally axed, including Captain James Tavernier, benched. Nico Raskan, a current Belgian international, benched. Danilo, benched. Kieran Dowell, benched. In come Jefty, Lyle Cameron, who makes his first start since joining from Dundee, Cyril Dessers, and Oliver Antman, who signed yesterday from Go Ahead Eagles. So 4 big decisions by Russell Martin ahead of this massive game. It's Rangers against Victoria Pilsen, kick-off at 7:45.
This can go 2 ways, can't it, David? If they get a result tonight, everyone will be saying it's the right decision. If they lose tonight, will Russell Martin be under pressure?
I don't think so. I don't know anybody who's been watching Rangers in recent years who heard what he said and disagreed with him. Whether it was the right time to do it, that is of course up for debate. My opinion is that this guy is not sugarcoating things the way that previous managers had to. For the first time in many years, a Rangers manager has got money to make changes and get rid of players and bring new ones in, and that's what he's able to do under the ownership, the new American ownership. So from that point of view, I think he did the right thing. And that team news tonight, it really is quite sensational, some of the big players. Just to recap, the captain, James Tavernier, has been benched. Max Aarons moves across to right back, his more natural position. And Jefty comes in at left back. And, some of the players in that team you would expect would never be dropped. Nico Raskan, that's quite sensational. A current Belgian international replaced by a kid who was playing at Dundee last season. Remarkable.
And I suppose, David, when he's talking about egos, I mean, he's only been in at Rangers, for a few months now, not even probably. This is something that goes back a while, doesn't it, within this Rangers squad, that there's been these issues behind the scenes that we're just learning about potentially?
It's not so much issues behind the scenes, it's very much public-facing.
True.
Because this is a Rangers team that hasn't lost to Celtic in their last 4 meetings, but yet finished 16 points behind Celtic because they weren't able to raise their game for the small games. They've regularly got to quarter-finals, a final under Giovanni Van Bronckhorst in the Europa League, but they put the tools away in the views of many when it came to the smaller games, if you like, in the domestic situation. So it's a Rangers team that was good enough, but only when it chose to be. So he's made a big call tonight. He's brought in new players. We'll find out tonight if they've got the mettle and they can raise their game in these big games. But I'll tell you what, there won't be a single Rangers supporter in this stadium who doesn't complain about any of these big players being dropped. I can guarantee that, because they have been sick of it over recent years. You could just, knowing they would turn up in nights like tonight, and then at the weekend where they play Dundee, they might not fancy it. So big call by Russell Martin. The big question is, will the new players that he's brought in turn it on? We'll have to wait and see.
We will. David, thank you. You'll keep us updated then on what happens in that fixture then for Rangers as they take on Victoria Pilsen. I mean, if you're dropping anyone, that's huge.
Yeah, especially him.
I mean, it's inevitable that we're all going to sit here now going, well, clearly that player is one of those with the ego. That player is one of those with that was a problem.
And you see the problem as an experienced pro and captain, and he's won the league with Rangers. It's Tavernier now. Does he play again? How do you bring someone back into the fold where you're basically showing every Rangers fan he's part of the problem? He's got an ego issue.
Well, you know what? There are sometimes conversations that have to happen at the very least about captaincy.
Oh, of course.
You're not performing out there with the armband on. then we're going to have to take that at least off you and then decide what happens with you going forward.
Exactly, yep. Interesting to see what happens tonight then.
It's a 7:45 kickoff. talkSPORT will keep you regularly updated on that, as they will with the League Cup preliminary round. Accrington Stanley taking on Oldham. Gabby, thank you very much for today. Back tomorrow
pleasure.
for more
Thank
of
you.
the same. You've got the Transfer Insiders coming up next.
Twisting